You chose football over her, and you got beat by
He
the
doesn't have
Cowboys.
one. They're done.
Right. There's no wife, so there's nothing to go home to.
There's nothing to go home to.
Right.
He's gonna do what every old player in today's era does. He's gonna get back to the gym, get back to the healthcare, get back to that GH, and revitalize his status. He's gonna go to a team that has significantly more help, like the Las Vegas Raiders, that have an elite wide receiver, an elite tight end, an elite running back, and a coach that he knows, and he knows the system, he knows the terminology, and he's going to try and make another run at it. He's still, if you look at him, there were still some throws, like that touchdown throw he threw to Julio Jones was still elite. So he still has it. He's still better than 20 quarterbacks. Like, it's not like he's not a top 20 quarterback in this league. So why would he quit? He gave that all up. Why would he quit?
He ain't in the space, Tone, that Peyton Manning was in when he was in Denver.
Yeah, he's not. Remember,
no, he's not that
little arm in Denver.
He couldn't throw past 40 yards, and we all know he's not there. But I mean, the fact that
elite, is he a top 5 QB anymore?
I mean, I'm hanging my.
No, I think that time's past him, done. But is he better than Kirk Cousins? Is he better than Daniel Jones? Is he better than Ryan Tannehill? These guys are all starters. Is he better than Derek Carr for the Raiders? Absolutely.
I'm hanging my hat on a 46. He's gonna be 46 on opening night, Tone. That's basically what I'm building my unit around. I know that sounds nuts, yeah, but he's gonna be 46 on opening night, not 36, not 26. He's gonna be 46 on opening night. So, I mean, I'm not saying that he's over. I'm just trying to figure out what else is there.
It's, you know what? He's going to play most elite players, and we've seen it with almost all of them play 1 or 2 years too many. Right? This might be the one, and next year might be the 2 years too many, and then he leaves. But think about it. Would you ever thought of Ewing in Orlando, Jordan in the Wizards? Like, there's always that. There's a Montana in KC, Jerry Rice in Seattle. Like, there's always that those elite guys just always go. Do I see Brady playing a year in Miami or for the Raiders? Yeah, why not? Why not? Why wouldn't he go? Yeah. If I'm Miami, I'm making the push because I already paid the fine for tampering. So I'm making the push if I'm Miami to get you in there for a year.
Yo, Marz.
Yes.
Quick question. I have 2 GOATs for you. I need an honest opinion, okay? Not a biased answer, an honest opinion. Who's more of a GOAT? Tom Brady or Messi?
It's Messi. Why would it ever be Brady over Messi? I mean, there's no argument for that.
I don't know if you really realize how much of a GOAT that Brady really actually is.
Yeah.
I think from my knowledge, correct me if I'm wrong. From my knowledge,
it's Messi, but in the US,
Brady's the GOAT because of winning, correct? Like, most people don't view him as the most talented player ever, but he's won the most, and he's the most decorated. Messi has won the most and is the most talented player ever. So
I would say Brady, though, just to add, Marz, I would say Brady might not be the most talented, but he is the most accomplished. And like when we look at peak longevity, nobody comes close, right? Like most yards, most completions, most touchdowns, all that kind of stuff. So I think if you do more with less, he's less talented, I would agree, than Messi. But he did all this being less talented, which means he had to work harder. That's impressive.
It's
Marz,
very impressive.
When is the footy show, Marz?
It's Monday every week, 5:30 Eastern, I think.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I gotta start tapping in more.
Yeah, I need to get more. I need to get more fluent in footy.
I don't know enough about soccer. I hate that I don't know a lot about it.
Low down, what up, brother?
How you wait to put water in my mouth to say what up? Jeez. Yo,
what up, low down? How you running, brother?
No, that was a hard swallow too. Pause.
I know. I'm trying to I'm like, yo, goddamn.
That echoed all throughout the stream. But speaking of getting more fluent in other sports and other topics, if you want to get more fluent in soccer, obviously, or football. On Mondays we have the Players' Choice Footy Show. If you want to get more fluent in football as well, like American football, actual football, real football, Mondays and Wednesday nights, you can come see none other than Fluent, Dub, Bama, J-Rob, and the whole cast. We also have some other things that we are bringing to the table. Right now, Player's Choice, we're in a different bag right now. 2023, we're doing some things that you guys wouldn't believe.
70K.
70K, baby. 70K subscribers. Hey, shout out to everybody that's really tuning into y'all. And for that 70K, we really about to turn up for y'all. We're doing the Player's Choice music right now. You guys make sure to tune in right now. If you were too late to fill out your bracket, that's okay. Still come tune in. It's still some money that you possibly can win. Yes, it's money on the line. Pull up, choose your favorite songs. Tomorrow night, Shaq will be hosting that. That will be after Player's Choice football. And then Player's Choice Gridiron. And then also, we have something that we're bringing this weekend for the first time. We're trying to bring in a more diverse crowd. I know a lot of you guys like anime. Well, this weekend, we will be introducing our Player's Choice anime show. And next week, I got another big time surprise for you guys next week. I'll tell you next week on the panel. But let's get back around to basketball. That's what we are here for, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want to start right from the top. MLK Day, there were 2 50-point games. Well, one 50-point game and another 48-point game. LeBron had 48. Jayson Tatum had 51. I want to know in this juncture and in the method that they did it, whose game was more impressive?
Well, they were both against those are both the weakest teams in the NBA, so
correct.
Can't go off of that. I guess I'm gonna have to go with Bron just because he's 40. You know what I'm saying? So
Bron also put up I think 9 and 8 to go along with that 48 points.
Yeah,
and I think Tatum
did
9 and 5. What's the 0?
Turnovers.
Oh, he had 0 turnovers?
0, not
the
one.
First time in his career?
Not one turnover last year.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's crazy.
That actually might be the most impressive part. Because I think Tatum was what, 51, 8 and 5 or 9 and 5, something like that.
Yep.
They were both very impressive, but are they? When you're dropping, when your team's dropping 140 points, how impressive is 40 anymore?
That is also a fact. It's not as impressive.
I'm not saying it's not. It is. It's not as impressive.
Well, the first thing that we want to make sure we clear on is the fact that they needed every one of those 48 in order to win yesterday.
Which is kind of sad.
They didn't need some of that. They needed every last one of those 48 in order for them to win. And Houston is, in my opinion, I think they're the worst team in the NBA. I think the Lakers, in terms of a talent standpoint, I think they're the worst team in the NBA. However, they needed all 48 of those points from LeBron James in order to beat that Houston team full of pups, right? Full of pups. Now,
I was going to tell you the 0
Jr.
until you told me about the 0 turnovers. I was going to say him shooting, I think 5 of 10 from 3.
Right.
He's actually
low shooter in the league.
Low. He's still having his worst 3-point shooting season of his career.
No doubt.
He's the worst in the league.
He's
dead last.
He's literally might be the worst jump shot shooter in the league, Ron.
Yeah.
I just want to let you know that, Ron.
Nah, but I'm saying, like, when somebody does something great, we can always just come up here.
No. I agree. I think
LeBron is the most impressive.
Yes, LeBron was the most impressive. But you sitting here trying to act as if like, oh, this is when it's going to turn around for him.
I mean, it took him to play against the Houston Rockets, but I don't know.
You know what's so crazy? He's shooting so bad. If he wants to get back to his like season or career average, he has to shoot like 42% for the rest of the season.
Which is going to be really hard to do. In fact, I don't think it's going to happen, to be honest with you. But I think Jayson Tatum is just adding to what I've been talking about him. I mean, I understand that it's against the worst team in the game, no doubt about that, but he's just adding to becoming a better player. I still don't love the fact that he shoots the long ball as much as he does. I still think that when he puts that 15 to 18-foot game in his game, and he gets more consistent with it, I think he's a top 3 player for the next 5 to 8 years. Because on the defensive side of the ball, it's obvious. Yes, definitely. Because on the defensive side of the ball, it's obvious that it's gotten better. It's not even close that it's gotten better than last year. I think that if he gets that 15, that 12 to 15, or that 15 to 18-foot game more consistently in his game, I think he's a top 3 player in the game for the next 5 to 8 years.
Tatum, top 3?
I don't know about top 3.
Yes, sir.
Can I get your
top
3?
5? Top 5.
I'm assuming top 5. Yeah, I'm good with top 5.
I mean, Luka, Giannis, and Jokic alone.
Luka, Giannis, and who did you say? One more time.
Jokic.
No question about that. Now, I will tell you this, Lo. the gap. I think Luka is still better than Jayson Tatum, and I won't argue that. But I think the gap has closed, and I think the gap has closed a lot closer than where you guys think it is. He's gotten much better. I think the separation is ultimately going to be with Jayson Tatum and Luka on the defensive side of the basketball. He's just gotten so much better on the defensive side of the basketball.
And just for the record, those three names, Giannis doesn't exist anymore, correct?
We just said Giannis.
I thought you said Embiid. I thought you said Luka, Jokic, and Embiid. Oh, you said Giannis. My bad. Okay.
Is Tatum better than Embiid?
No.
I think Embiid's better than Tatum.
I pick Embiid as well. That's what I'm saying. Like top three, you might even have to get Embiid over Embiid as well. It's gonna be
right, and that's not ridiculous that he can get there, because it's a difference between being a better player and playing better than somebody else, right? Because again, I've always felt like if you might be more skilled than another guy, you might be a better player than them and still get outplayed. And the way Jayson Tatum is playing this season, he's outplaying a lot of guys that were ahead of him last year.
That's fair. I can go off of that. I can go off of that. I can go off that because
because
we also give shout outs though to Van Vliet 33, Drew Holiday 35, Steph Curry 41.
Enough with the Van Fleet logic. All y'all doing this is what you're doing with Van Fleet.
How I feel, but I'm just saying those guys all have big games too. I'm just saying let's not just give them
those
their
big
flowers.
games now though? Are 30 points big games anymore?
See that? See?
35 for Holiday's a big game, don't you think?
Okay.
Maybe not the 40.
I'm still impressed by 40 point games. I'm never been, and that just might be for me personally, because I was never a big scorer, you know what I'm saying? So when I see cats go for 40, you know what I'm saying, I'm still like, hey, and I know there's 48 minutes in the game, and it doesn't take too many, especially with that level of talent, but I'm still impressed by 40 points and 35 points. I think I always will be.
It's just this logic right here is like, so in another couple of years, like 25 is going to be like 12, right? 25 is going to be like, you only went for 17, or you only went for 18. It's going to be almost nothing to go for 28.
Like, did we talk about this last week? There's 55 guys averaging over 20 points, and the highest ever prior to this season was 31.
Yeah.
That's like scoring, they're gonna have to do something.
Well, here's the thing, though, Tone. What needs to be done? I mean, this is the way to get this is the way the game is played. This is
or expansion. Actually, this is actually a perfect time for expansion. This is genuinely a perfect time for expansion. And if this is actually the most time where it actually makes by far the most sense. I've never even I wasn't like cognizant of like when it was expanding and the 90s, but like right now makes the most sense for them to expand, like by far.
And why is that, Lo?
There's 55 players averaging 20.
But it's still 30 teams in the league. How many? I mean, it's not like the talent.
It's almost like this. It's getting to a point where it's almost 2 20-point scorers on every team. 55.
So we've seen in the past when there's expansion, the distribution of talent,
right?
Bring it might not look, the stars are still there, but your teammates aren't as good, and it levels the playing field a little bit more.
But see, here's the problem.
How many more teams? Like four more teams?
I think
there's 2.
Look, they're going to get to 40 at some point, but I think they'll get to 40.
No,
I think, but I think 32 right away. No Sonics
definitely needs to be another team.
The Vegas gamblers are going to be there, and there's the 32 to start, and then they're going to have to. I think 36. Yeah, they will get to 40.
But here's the downside. There's too much money. There's too much money. I did not see 40 teams in the NBA. No way.
40.
By when Fluent? Like
okay, I think 32 in the next 3 years.
Yeah,
36 in the next 10. And I would say 40 and 15 to 20 years,
40 teams?
I don't think it's going to take
40 teams is crazy.
I'll tell you, I've said this before. They probably should do it like the Premier League, where they relegate.
Oh, yeah. That'd be nice.
If we can get to 40 teams and they have like legitimate 10 players like that are like very competent, great, that just means the skill level is like through the roof. For you to get to 40 teams.
Hold on, why would you 10 players that are teams don't have 10 players on their rosters now that are that skilled?
But that's what I'm saying. If they can get to 400 players in a league where they're all skilled and equally distributed, that's crazy. That'd be crazy.
Well, that's not that crazy though. When you factor in that it is 50 plus 40 point or 30 point scores, or no, 20 point scores. That means every team would essentially have a 20 point score.
So if you had 30, if you have Yeah, that makes sense.
But
every team have a 20-point scorer.
Man, that's crazy.
And then maybe not a legitimate second guy, but then a second guy.
And then half of them have two.
Upper team.
Right,
but
half of them have two.
You just need to bring that defense too.
Here's the drawback. We can just stay with the two expansion teams that you talk about. But the drawback will be exactly what we got to hear from Jordan when Jordan was winning the NBA championships in the 90s. Well, they had 5 teams expand from 88 into 96. So the league was quote unquote watered down. So now if you want to add even more teams to the league, the next eventual champion who's winning the championship more than once, more than twice, that's going to be the logic on him too. Well, the league was watered down. You have 32 teams in the league, and
that's from the basic people who don't understand.
Yeah, I'm about to say right. I don't think anybody's saying that the league will be watered down because they add 2 teams. They're just dumb. Like they just wouldn't know.
Because look, you go back and look at those teams, right? You look at those teams that expanded in those days, and half of them, Charlotte, for example, whatever, in a few years they were playoff teams. And
Charlotte, Orlando, Miami were all playoff teams.
Those teams all became playoff teams very quickly. And if you look at even today, I bet you there's just as many horrible teams today as there was. Pick any year. There's just as many bad teams as good teams. Go back to the whatever year. So I think that stuff's it's a narrative. It's a false one.
ESPN chill. You always got to throw a little diss in there to Michael Jordan, don't you?
Oh my God!
This has this has nothing to do with this got nothing to do. This has nothing to do with throwing shade at Jordan because
I peeped your style, dog.
You did not peep anything.
I peeped your style,
I did.
Man.
I've heard that. Tone, if I'm not mistaken, Tone, did you not have to explain this to people about Jordan being in a watered down league?
Yeah.
Right. So this is not to throw shade at Jay. Absolutely not. This is not to throw shade at him.
Not chill. He doesn't study your game, man.
I know you finna have a pizza party in a few weeks when your boy break the record. I already know how you're gonna get down.
That would be amazing. Oh my God, I cannot wait for him to break that record.
Pizza party.
You're fun, chill. I'm on your helmet. Just don't forget that.
Bring it, Ticket. You know where to find me at. Bring it.
What does him breaking that record? What does it mean?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing, Tone, to be honest.
It means he's the all-time leading scorer in the NBA.
When I say it means nothing, I mean it doesn't mean anything as far as him being the best ever. He's in year 20. If you haven't made up your mind by today,
exactly.
If you haven't made up your mind by today, then you're never going to make up your mind. This would be different if he did it in like year 14 and he was still chasing other things like championships and stuff like that. I think his days of winning NBA championships are over. I said that a year ago. I think his days of winning NBA championships are over. So the fact that him being the all-time leading scorer in NBA history, all this is doing is just adding to the legacy. This doesn't change anything about
what you're doing is that when you say that now, when you say what you just said, you have to understand how a lot of the new people are thinking too, and a lot of the new people are going to influence history because a lot of the older guys are going to be dead and gone in years, and a lot of the new guys are going to come up and they're going to rewrite history. And if LeBron stays in the league and he's averaging around 25, 26 points, when they go to Basketball Reference and they look at this guy that came in the league averaging 20 and averaged that for almost damn near 24, 25 years, it's going to be it's going to be a force to be reckoned with because people are going to say, well, damn, nobody else ever could sustain and put up those type of numbers that deep into their career. I mean, be honest, man. If he really does play another 5 or 6 years, because it's just be honest,
40,000.
He's averaging 30 right now.
You're right.
Let's say he plays another 5 years, and his last year he averaging around 19 or 20. Bro, that's gonna be outrageous, amazing. Because if you look at everybody else who slowed down, you know what I'm saying. Everybody else is gonna be looking like, damn, dog, like Kareem and all them dudes, they fell apart. These dudes couldn't even walk going out the league at that age. This dude was still out here putting up 30, 40, 30, 30. And then if you think about it, think about all those other guys that we think about now. We don't think about whether or not they were winning or losing going out. Only one person we really think about that like that, and that's Kobe. But other than that, I never really hear people saying whether a person who was putting up the big numbers at the end of their career were winning or were losing games. I think they're going to look at the statistical output and they're going to say, man, that shit was amazing, man. I mean, I can't lie, bro. 25 years, 26 years in the league, and you putting up 20, that's going to be something that I don't think anybody, and I don't even think these young cats in the league are going to be able to do that. I don't think Giannis, KD, none of them dudes, none of the younger guys, I don't think they're going to be able to play 25 years in the NBA and still put up numbers like this dude. So I think that's something that is going to put something in a lot of people's minds now, even though it will never impress me because, like I said, I seen a dude win 6 championships. I seen a dude win 6 finals MVPs. I seen a dude never lose when he was on the big stage. I seen a dude that won a defensive player of the year, scoring title in MVP in the same year. I seen a dude that, you know, like I said before, I seen a dude that made multiple first defensive teams.
Right.
I seen a dude who did it on both ends, elite for a long level. And like I said, didn't need as much time to win a chip. And I do think if Mike would have put his mind to it and played all those years, he would have broke the scoring record. I think if Mike would have never retired those years and just kept his mind.
Being said, right, and with the point that you're making, right, I understand the point that you're making. The question I'm asking you is, at what point when you saw Jay did you go, that's it, this dude is the best to ever do it? And whatever he did after that,
when he won the first 3, and then you know got suspended. But when he won those first 3, everybody, it was a lot of people then pretty much saying this is the greatest thing we ever seen.
Did you feel like that after he won those first 3? Did you feel like, yo, that was it?
Yeah.
Right. So for him, for him to win 3 more, right? So for him to win 3 more in a row, all that's doing is, as awesome as it is, you already had your mind made up. If he never even came back to the game, you already had your mind made up. This dude is the best to ever do it. So whatever he did after that, that's just adding to the legacy for you, and that's just more fuel. That's just more fuel for you to even talk about him even more. Which I get that, right? But the point is that when you were at that point after they beat Phoenix, you already had your mind made up. This dude is the best to ever do it. There's nothing else that he has to do in order for me to change my mind.
But let's say this one thing. Let's say LeBron does get traded back to Cleveland, and let's say he wins another championship,
right,
along with all the numbers he's put up. Mm-hmm. Then what are some of these other guys going to say? He don't even have to be the number 1 guy. He can go over there and be the number 2 guy, still averaging around 24, 25 points per game. Right. And they're going to give him all-time credit. They're going to do – it's going to be, you know what I'm saying, a situation where he's going to get so much credit as far as for the whole output of his career and then the winning, you know what I'm saying? Even with all the losses, they're just going to say the longevity was so unreal. Because Mike was in what? He was 40 years old. If Mike would have never retired, how many years would that have been straight in the league, Lo? If Mike would have never retired,
I think it's 18. Yeah, it would have been 18.
Right. If he never retired,
it would have been 18. He would have broke the scoring record.
Those years. How many years would Mike would have played in the league? If he would have just played through that last year he played with Washington.
Well, he played 15 years. He played 15 years.
No. Right. It wouldn't have been 20.
Right, he retired. If he wouldn't have retired, it would have been that was 3.5 years that he didn't play. So that's 18 more. That's 3 more years. So that's 18 seasons.
Right. So he would have
definitely broke the scoring record, no doubt about it.
So let's say he would have broke the score. Let's say he broke the scoring record, and let's say because he was in shape, he played 1 more year. That'd have been like 19 years, right?
Right.
Now think about this. Think about if he does that, and then think about this kid, LeBron James, comes across, plays 25 to 27 years, bro.
Right.
LeBron just said he wants to play 7 more years, bro. I want you to think about that. And he said he can do it. He said he can do it. And listen, I'll be honest with you. I believe, bro. Wow. I'm gonna tell you something. With the way they're playing ball now, the way they're load managing, I believe that the dude is dunking on cats. He's doing outrageous shit that I've never seen before from a dude that age, bro. I've never seen no shit like this before, bro.
Well,
he's pushing dudes out the way. They got nobody.
But here's the thing, though, Ticket. At this age, we're at a year-to-year basis. This is not like a dude that's 26 or 30 years old.
No.
At any point, this thing could be over. Yes, because he can have an injury that can completely slow him down.
That's literally what happened to Kobe. He just stopped.
Chill town.
I remember that day. I cried, boy.
No. What I'm saying is with this dude.
Go ahead, Ticket. I'm listening, Ticket.
Not with this dude. This dude too committed to the game, bro.
Right.
Too committed. I give him that respect.
Kobe was committed.
I don't know if there was a more.
No. But low. You're not hearing what I'm saying. Low. Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. In this era now, Kobe still played in a way more physical era. In this era now, bro, you seen KD come off a torn Achilles, come back and average 30 the next 2 or 3 seasons. So even if LeBron was to get an injury like that. Let's say, God forbid, he was to get a major injury. I still think if he wanted to, he could come back and average around 23, 24 points easy.
Well, but he could also change his game because at his size, what 6'8", whatever 6'9" that he is, 250, 260, he can transition into a lower, I don't want to say post player,
a 4.
He can move. Yeah, he can move away from the perimeter,
Sure.
which he started to do anyways, which will give him a couple of extra years too, right? If you look at most of the guys as they got older, that's what they did, right? Jordan became a small forward. I didn't want to use Kemp, but he was 800 pounds, but he moved down into the low post. He could technically do that if he wanted to play till he was 45, 46 years old. He could do that. He could do that.
Man,
who's going to stop him at that position? Low. Who's going to stop him? Low.
Yeah, he's basically
who's strong enough to stop him?
Well, no, I don't think there's not many people. I just think But all right, the 7-year thing was Dennis Schroeder potentially being hyperbolic. They then asked him about it, and he specifically said his mental has to be in it, which is similar to what.
But he said he could do it if he wanted. He said physically he could do it.
Physically, but mentally, which is the same thing that happened to both Kobe and Jordan. Right. Where like mentally they just weren't like getting yourself prepared to do this every single day. It's something that they just couldn't do. But and also I think he just wants to. He definitely wants to cross the finish line.
They wasn't playing for that though. Yeah, but they wasn't playing for that. They wasn't playing for that. And then, like you just said something important. I think that keeps him going. When you got sons like that you think could play in the NBA and that you want to play with both of them, that can keep him. That's something that keeps you motivated.
That's a huge motivator.
I know, but his first son is just 2 years away. So like he's definitely.
No, I'm talking about the other one. He want to play with both of them. He said he want to play with both of them.
Bryce gonna be something else.
At first, I thought he just wanted to play with the one. Now I'm starting to think I think he wants to run him and both his boys at least.
You know what it was, Fluent? What it was, I think Bryce just kind of blew up a little quicker than
surprised him. He didn't think he was going to be.
Because, I mean, I'm only just basing just off what I've seen on social media. Obviously, he sees his kids every day, But like we seen Bronny start getting explosive after his sophomore year and jumping a little bit, but Bryce grew kind of quick, and now he got that explosion. He got that little touch on his turnaround jumpers. Hey, I'm scared of Bryce.
He looked like he's gonna be about 6'6", 6'7". That's number one. I
was sleeping on Bronny, but I'm scared.
Is he that big, Low?
I was gonna say I thought I think
he's already like 6'6".
I think he'd be Bron size.
Yeah,
he's already taller than Bronny, and Bronny's 6'3", 6'4", right?
Yeah.
He's already a good inch and a half, maybe 2 inches taller.
But when LeBron does pass Kareem, I will celebrate that. That's very impressive.
Why?
That's epic shit. Any way you spin it, like
here's the thing, though, Big Eye. What I need to
I think it'd be one of the most impressive. I think it'd be one of the most impressive feats in sports history.
Because no one, I think, praises Kareem for being the number one scorer of all time.
Nobody even talked about it.
No one talked about it. No, before, never.
Nobody talks about it. And this is a record that's been held. James is going to break it. 38 years, almost 40 years since somebody ever did this. But
did anyone talk about it in the 90s?
Nobody
talk about it in the 2000s?
All they talked about with Jabbar was his NBA championships. That's all we talked about. His league MVPs.
I can only speak to what I know. When I remember Kobe was passing players, and I remember celebrating that.
Right.
So I know I'm going to celebrate when.
And Low, I want to make sure that I'm clear that I'm not dismissing it, right? Because I already got my mind made up about James. I know who he is. So him doing this is not something that's going to sway me to go, all right, this makes him even. No, this is who this dude already is as it is. So this is just adding to the legacy. Now, do I think I'm going to be around when the next dude breaks this record? Because I think he's going to get to 40,000. I think he's going to get to 40,000.
I actually don't think anybody's going to break it.
I don't think I'm going to be around to see that. Right?
I think we won't be around. Someone will eventually break it if they don't change what they're doing offensively, right? Since we're you just said, are you impressed with 30-point games anymore? So if that becomes the norm, then
wait, let me be clear. I don't think
pass it, but it took him 20 years to do it. The person who's going to pass it, I don't believe, is in the league today. Let's say he is. Let's say it's Luka. I don't think that's it, but let's say it's Luka. He still has to play 18 more years to get there. So it's the fact that
Bron.
What's that?
Bron's been relatively healthy throughout his career, so it's not.
But that's Bron's gonna. I'm saying after Bron breaks it, because
I'm agreeing with you. I'm just saying it's gonna be hard.
And we don't even know, because once Bron breaks it, it's not like he's gonna say, "Okay, I broke it." Peace. He's gonna keep playing. So he's gonna add to it. So it took him 20. It's gonna take the next person 25 years of playing to pass it. So we're 40, 50 years away from someone passing this record.
I just look at him from the standpoint of where he is in terms of his age, and I appreciate how he takes care of his body. He does that like no one else. But to Lowe's point, when Kobe tore the Achilles, that was the beginning of the end because he tore the Achilles. And after he tore the Achilles, then he cracked his knee. And then when he cracked his knee, then the shoulder. Now, what happens when you do that, your confidence as a ball player starts to wane because you can tell that your body is breaking down. And I can't do the stuff that I used to be able to do. So the motivation, which you just mentioned, Ox, about his kids, that might be there, but it's also in the back of my mind. Am I going to be able to hold up? Can I still do this at the level that I need to do this in order to stick around for my kids? Because that's ultimately what I think he's waiting on. I think
could he have a couple seasons kind of similar to like when T-Mac was in like San Antonio and Atlanta?
No,
he was running back up point guard.
I think he's wrapping it up. He's wrapping that up.
Absolutely
He gonna wrap that one up.
One more question I have for you, Chill. You said a few minutes back was about LeBron. You think his championship days are over, and I agreed with you when you said it. But then I'm thinking like maybe should we hold out and reserve that statement for after the All-Star break, after the trade deadline? Maybe the Lakers make some drastic changes and AD come back healthy.
Is Jeannie Buss going to sell the team at the All-Star break?
I'll call her later and ask.
Okay, ask her for me because aside from that and Rob Pelinka getting replaced, this team isn't doing anything. They've pretty much.
I don't got much faith in them, but if they were to trade for, I don't know, Bojan and another big wing, and AD comes back healthy, I mean that's a scary playoff team. I don't think anybody really wants.
It's a scary playoff team, but I don't know.
People listen,
and that's sorry to come cut y'all off. I seen what I needed to see. It ain't about the movements, bro. They don't have LeBron and them dudes can't close, bro. They can't close. All them games they playing is close. The Philly games, both of them games is close. They can't close.
Bojan's a closer though, Ticket.
No, but hold on, come on. He's not closing. Hold on. He doesn't have the opportunity to close on that type of team. They're not giving him the ball and say, hey, go close. It's LeBron,
not drawing it up for him.
They're not giving it LeBron James, AD or Russ. They're not giving it to Bojanovic on a game-to-game basis. It's on them, and they're not doing it. It's happened this year. It happened last year. They lost a lot of games. The Stars ain't closing the game. Look at all the close games the Lakers lost. When the OT game came down to the last second, they've lost all those games. Now, I will say the last two games, they got cheated blatantly. Yeah. Russell Westbrook got grabbed on his arm. The NBA need to check that out.
Yeah.
That was nasty what they did the last two games to him. And then the foul on Troy Brown for the 3 the game before that. That cost them 2 games, the last 2 games that they lost before this last game. But all the other games, bro, they not LeBron James is shooting step back threes to try to win a 2-point game. Like, take it to the rack. Like, you know what I'm saying, dog? Like, that's them stupid decisions by us.
I'll say this. When you say LeBron's ring championship days are over, I do have I disagree with you because of this. Is there something in his past that makes you think he wouldn't leave wherever he is to go to a better situation to win a ring?
No, nothing's happened. So we know he'll jump ship. However,
he'll jump ship. So I think if he gets to that point where, okay, I got Kareem's record, I'm top 5 in assists, I'm this, I'm that, there's an opportunity for me to go play with my sons on a good team. He'll go, of course.
Now remember too, Tone. He did just sign an extension. And since you brought up James's history, what is his history? His history is playing out contracts. So his history is playing out contracts. Would the Lakers trade him though? And when I say trade
him, they don't have to trade him.
Right. Not only do they not.
Hold on. The Lakers. Jeannie Buss filed a trade to Shaq. They'll get LeBron ass out of there. They get tired of.
But what I'm saying is they don't have to trade him though. His contract expires the same year that his son comes into the league.
Right.
So I'm saying after this season. I'm saying after this season, they can move on from him if they want because he doesn't have to opt out.
But they're not going to. Exactly.
No. If he keeps running, hold on. If he keeps running that mouth, they will.
No.
If he keep running that candy.
Ticky, he's a money maker. No, you hold on.
You must think a father running that team. No.
Go ahead,
Ticket. I'm listening. Go ahead.
If you learn something from a father, they're not going to let no. Listen, Jeannie Buss, Kobe Bryant didn't even talk shit to Jeannie Buss like LeBron James did. LeBron James basically came out and called a girl a bitch, man. Come on, bro. Let's be honest, man.
Never heard.
Hold on, you're not going to do that. Listen. Hold on. Listen. You didn't see what Jeannie Buss put on her social media?
No.
First of all, if Kobe Bryant dropped 48 on his birthday, right, and got a win, Jeannie Buss would have celebrated him. She said nothing about LeBron James on no account.
He had a way different relationship with Kobe, though.
You know what she said? She put out and deleted it. Hold on, but you know what she said and put out and deleted it? But she would have did that for any Laker great that would have went out there and did that. She didn't do it for LeBron James. She don't respect him on a level she respect him do. But you know what she put out there? Stop crying. And she took out a tweet. You can look this up. Stop crying about trade or help and go win games. And she's right. Because that's the mentality Kobe Bean Bryant would have. And they see that. They see that dude, he's great, but he don't have that type of mentality. They're not going to keep doing all this crazy shit to him, you understand, and keep going and going and going when they see there's no end to this road. I'm telling you, they are analyzing AD.
I bet you they will.
Oh, I bet you they won't, because they already said this.
I'll put 1,000 on it because they would have to trade him this offseason.
Hold on.
I'll put 1,000 on it that they will not trade.
Look at what Magic said. Look at what Magic said. Look at what Magic said, and he's still close to Genie. Look at what Magic said before this season.
Take the bet. Ticket in the chat. Is anyone taking low $1,000 bet that they will not trade LeBron James?
They will have to trade him this offseason.
I'm gonna tell y'all. Hold on. I'm gonna tell y'all how it's gonna go. What's gonna happen is if Tweedledum is hurt and they get flunked out again, he gone, and then LeBron James is going right behind him this summer.
I can see him trading AD. How did they trade Bron?
And when AD goes, and when AD goes, LeBron James goes. Because you know why? They're not going to get back what they need to get back for AD to make that team a winner. And he's not going to sit over there and want to keep losing and keep getting dunked on for losing while just stat padding, because they're going to cook his ass for that.
Okay, well, first and foremost, Ticket, the thing that you're leaving out is you're leaving out one of the most important parts of this. You're leaving out the business aspect of this. Do you honestly think that the Los Angeles Lakers are going to trade LeBron James? Where is the moneymaker now? Where is the moneymaker now if we trade James? Hold on. No, you hold on. Where is the moneymaker? There's no way. You know why they traded Shaq? Because they had Kobe Bryant.
He ran his mouth.
Not only
because he didn't get along with Kobe.
They made a choice. They made a choice between Kobe Bryant. They made a choice between Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal, and they chose Bryant. That's what it really was about.
It wasn't just that.
Absolutely,
it was just that. Hold on. I'm gonna tell you what happened because you don't know the history.
Not only do I not have a problem with them doing that. Not only do I not have a problem with them doing that. Shaq at that point was starting to break down. So there's no reason for us to start paying him more, as opposed to we got this young guy who's coming into even more of his prime. Right, so we're gonna lose Kobe Bryant as opposed to lose Shaquille O'Neal, who at that point was starting to break down.
What you're not gonna do is lie about history.
We're not doing that.
What you're not gonna do is lie about history, Chilltown.
What am I lying about?
Hold on, Chilltown. You can go on YouTube yourself and look up the interview. Shaquille O'Neal said they did not trade me because of Kobe. He said they traded me because I was disrespectful to the late, great Jerry Buss. And I told Jerry Buss during that season, I cussed his ass out during the game and said, pay me my effing money or I'm out. You pay me my effing money. And he said, after we lost in the fight, hold on, wait. He said, after we lost in the finals, we had a team dinner. And he said, I walked in, and as soon as I looked at Dr. Buss, he said, I knew he was going to trade me because of what I did to him, what I said to him. He said, it had nothing to do with Kobe. Go look at the interview. It's on YouTube right now.
So if that's true, then why, since you're talking about the interview, how about you bring up the other part of that interview where Shaq said that he's home watching SportsCenter, and he finds out that he's gotten traded, and he basically raced down to the facility. He raced down to the facility, and they wouldn't let him in.
Hey, the Chillin' Ticket Show. Time out. I'm the host, not Ron. I will interrupt you. We're gonna have to get to some super chats. We'll get back to this. I promise. There's lots, but let's do a couple of super chats, and then we'll get back to it, and then we'll get to the topic of the show, which is the Knicks. All right, I guess it is. But let's do some super chats for the Knicks.
This they all low.
PC Wrestling 2023. All right. Anybody have anything to say about PC Wrestling? No? Good.
Like what type of wrestling? Like WWE wrestling or like college? Like
I don't know. Maybe they'll put Marz and Dub in some tights like Dub used to do in high school, and they'll roll around on the ground together.
Bro, the Dub and Fluent beef is crazy.
Would Brady have won multiple rings if he goes to the 49ers versus Tampa Bay? I'm going to ask our resident 49er expert.
Yeah, with the defense that we had, and the offense that we had, you put Brady 3 years ago and take Jimmy G out, we definitely win the bowl game. I'm not saying I'm not on the fence about that. I'm not thinking maybe we definitely win the bowl game. And then now you add Christian McCaffrey to the lineup. Yes, we definitely win in multiple bowl games with Tom Brady in the lineup. No doubt, because he doesn't have to do nearly as much. He doesn't have to do nearly as much in San Francisco that he had to do in Tampa. The reason why he won it when he was in Tampa, because he walked into a perfect situation, which would have been basically the same thing when he walked into San Francisco, where he had a tight end, where he had a running back, and a defense. So,
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Trent, Ron, thanks for the hundo. Don't make a bet with Trent McGahee on football because you will lose, Ron. D3. I don't
F
with Euro no more. Ever since I lost $75 to him on Lucra, I've been on an awful losing streak. Also low. Don't get in your feelings this time.
About what?
I don't know. You and D3 got something going on.
Oh, no.
Let's talk basketball. Thank you, sir. Ron, that PG one-on-one take was nasty. There's video evidence of him getting his shot off with 3 dribbles or less. Watch more film. No one knows anything about what's going on. Drink more water. Wasn't the knock on Tatum? Oh, this one's for you too. The knock on Tatum before he took too many long twos and didn't get to the rim enough. Now you want him to take long twos again? Chill.
Wait a minute. Whoa. Long twos. We talk number one. We're talking about the mid range. Drink more water. We're not talking about long twos. We're talking about living in the mid range, which would expand his game offensively. The game is not just played on the 3-point line and to the rim, so that's not the same thing.
Are you sure?
Yes.
It looks like it when I watch.
Unless you're Kevin Durant, it probably is.
All right.
Let me ask y'all though, because I've always, even growing up, I hated that. Like, don't take a long two, it's a bad shot. I always felt like, yo, if it's an open shot, it's a good shot. I don't give a damn where I'm at.
Right. And when you're in the mid range, especially when you're in the mid range, I just think that expands the offense even more, and that expands your offense. Because when you're playing on the long ball line and you jacking up threes, it's a different miss, because when you miss, now we basically speeding up the game for the other team, as opposed to when I'm playing in the mid range. Number one, it's a higher percentage shot, even though the 3 is worth more. All right, I can get that. I can get with that. It's a higher percentage shot, and I can just be more efficient doing that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be
more efficient doing what? What?
Playing in the mid range. I can be. I'm not saying
who?
I can be more efficient playing in the mid range in addition to playing at the long ball line. I'm not just playing in the mid range. If I add Jayson Tatum, if Jayson Tatum adds
Jayson Tatum, he's saying if he had a mid range to
Jayson Tatum had that in his mid range to complement that makes him even more efficient. As opposed to I'm just shooting at the long ball line, or I'm going to the rim.
Yeah, I ask anyone who played with me. I never met a shot I didn't like, so I can't. I should stay out of this conversation.
I'm just not gonna be looking down on my feet like, oh, let me step back a little bit more. Like, I'm shooting this. Like,
you'll just be behind the 3-point line. Already.
Open or not, if I have the ball, I'm shooting it. Period. Right. Where? Let me see. Where were we? Where do you guys have Paul George ranked all time?
I don't.
He's
Analysis
too
of Nick wants to know.
He's too low to be on any list that I could make.
Yeah, I don't have him ranked all time on any list.
Top 75.
Shout out PG.
Right.
Shout out PG.
In my opinion, he should have made the top 75 list.
Is PG
Paul George should have made the top 75 list?
What did Paul George do, in your opinion, Lo, to be a top 75 player all time?
If I'm not mistaken, 6 All-NBAs, 7 All-Defensive Teams, MVP finalists in 2019?
Yes.
Would you have him low? Low? Do you have him ranked 76th?
No, 75th.
Is he ahead of Carmelo Anthony?
That's what I'm saying. So there's no one else who deserves top 75 more than him.
No. Dwight should have been in top 75.
Okay, so you have Dwight ahead of him?
Yeah, I have Dwight ahead.
Anybody else that wasn't in?
I'm blanking right now. Y'all have to just say. There was like 2 or 3.
So right now, let's say Dwight and Paul George. Who comes out?
Lenny Wilkins should have came out, and Anthony Davis should have.
There's 2 correct answers. Lenny Wilkins is one of them.
Anthony Davis should not have been on that list either.
No,
you have Paul George above Anthony.
The correct answer is Lenny Wilkins and Bill Walton should come out.
I'm good with Bill Walton saying Dave DeBusschere can come off. Definitely Dave DeBusschere.
Well, y'all mad disrespectful to the older players. Whoa, what's going on, man?
Bill Walton was a part-time player, bro. He does not deserve to be in the top 75 all time. Sorry,
I'm good with Lenny Wilkins.
I got no problem with
that. Still, that doesn't put Paul George in there though. You still got Vince Carter. You still got Dwight. You still got Manu.
Paul George over
you still got Tony Parker. You still got all those.
Paul George, I'll say this as well. I know, like, we all over the place now. I don't even mind. I would if Manu, Tony, Clay, and Draymond made it. I actually would be more acceptance of that than a lot of the other names, because if they put some of those other players in because of the champion,
here we go.
I know.
Here we go.
I'll be more accepting.
Here we go.
Wait. Because if you go look at the list of players who are on there, some of them got on there just because. Let me say just because, but largely because they were teammates of like Bill Russell and some of the most successful dynasties of all time.
Right.
And that's a huge.
Hold on, did I miss something? You said Draymond top 75?
I said I would not have a problem. Let me say it again. I said I would not have a problem if Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, Klay Thompson, and Draymond got on the list, because there's other players on that list who are on the list because they were.
You said Draymond.
I'll feel you, low, except for Draymond. I'll feel you except for Draymond. But I mean, that's your opinion, though. You know.
Nah, somebody who won DPOY.
Seven
defensive player of the year.
We don't put role players on.
Four
put no role players.
Four championships.
Role player, man.
A DPOY.
Y'all gotta stop this. And I had a couple NBA players tell me. NBA players tell me that's nasty with that, man.
A DPOY recipient is a role player.
Ho. You had a ticket. You had a couple of NBA players.
Yeah, he's a role player.
No.
He's a good. That Draymond Green. He's a good role player, bro. But he not no superstar. When we talking about the greatest that ever played the game, bro, you have to be.
Yo, if Draymond in there, then Chris Webber in there. Chris Webber over Draymond.
I actually don't mind Chris Webber either. Actually, there's a couple of names I would have taken out over somebody else.
I'm not saying Chris Webber in there. I'm just saying, but he over Draymond.
No, but what I'm saying is the way that some of the names got on there, they got on there because they were on teams that were very successful. Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, Klay Thompson, and Draymond.
Give me some of the examples of the guys that are in there only because of
I gotta look. I gotta look. Because I know.
You don't have to look. I'll help you out, Lo. How about Bill Bradley? How about Bill Bradley averaging 12 a game for his career on that New York Knicks team that won the NBA championship?
Bill Bradley, I agree.
Top 75 player all time.
Was Bill Bradley in the top 75?
Yes, he is.
I'm about to double
Bill Bradley is in top 75.
If he was, you're right. He shouldn't be in the top 75, nor should he be in the Hall of Fame. I agree with that one. Yes.
That's also. And when I think about Lenny Wilkins, who
we agree he's out.
Lenny Wilkins, I think he was a 9-time All-Star. Lenny Wilkins never made the All-Pro team one time in his career. Not once. I'm good.
We agree there.
Lenny Wilkins did a lot for the game of basketball, though.
He did as a coach.
Top 75 players.
No, I agree with you. I just want to show Lenny some love, though.
And I can definitely get with Lenny showing him some love, because when you talk about a dude that's a 9-time All-Star, that means I'm one of the top 25 players in the game for a long time. All right, I can get with that part. But if you ain't never been an All-Pro, not also, one time,
Dame was pretty premature as well. Dame was premature.
Dame, I agree with Dame. I agree with Dame being premature. Yeah,
I was good with Dame being on it. I had Dame at 75, but I was good with Dame being on it.
I was actually very surprised Dame made it. Just to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, someone who didn't watch basketball in the 2000s says people weren't watching in the 50s either. Congratulations. All right, there's your minute of fame. Here we go. Richie Rich. Should the Nets go get Sadiq Bey and Bogdan from Detroit and get rid of Joe Harris and Cam Thomas and a couple of first-round picks and maybe sign Dwight? Oh, there you go. There's a whole.
There's a Nets whole. Even have picks to
the Lakers should do that.
No, they don't. I don't think they do, Marz. I think that Ben Simmons trade. I think that and that James Harden trade. I think that gave up a lot of their picks. First of all, number two, I think Cam Thomas is wasting away on that bench in Brooklyn. I think that he would be so much better suited if he was in a better situation like Detroit, right? Where he's going to be playing more. I mean, the dude led the SEC in scoring, so he obviously can score. And when he was playing, when Kyrie Irving was out of the lineup, I think he had like a 5-game stretch where he was averaging something like 17 a game, and then all of a sudden he's just out the lineup, and I don't understand why. I think he's had multiple DNP games this year, so. I don't get why Cam Thomas is not more in the rotation, because there's plenty of teams that would love to have his services. All
right, next one. That was Richie Rich TV. Boom. Is Tatum a better player than Embiid in the playoffs?
Yes.
I think you have to say so because of health, mainly. I think Embiid hasn't put together a healthy playoff run to really judge his ability in the postseason. It's just he's always getting hurt.
But even still, Marz, when you get to the playoffs, is anybody really 100%? I mean, we've played an 82-game season, and we get to the playoffs. Most of the guys are banged up. So the logic that when you get to the playoffs, everybody's 100%, it's a new season. Actually, it's not, right? So when a guy like Joel Embiid, he gets to the playoffs, I know he got his face broken, right? I can appreciate the fact that he got his face broken. All right, but but in years past, he has underperformed in the playoffs more than Jayson Tatum has.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
So who are you taking? You're starting a playoff run right now. You want Tatum or Embiid?
Right now,
yeah, right now. Yeah.
Tatum.
I take Tatum.
Marz?
Tatum, simply because of health.
Tatum.
Low?
Tatum.
Ox?
Tatum.
Everybody takes Tatum. It's a clean sweep. All right. That's easy.
And Ox, don't think I ain't hear that Chris Webber reference from your biased Sacramento fan base. I don't think I ain't hear that.
Look, I'm
biased
never
too
denied.
What's the name?
Which I can appreciate.
I've never denied. I get biased, and when I do get biased,
I got no problem with that. We all do it. I'm
not biased with that take. Chris Webber is by far better than Draymond Green. It's not even close.
I ain't gonna
fight.
From a talent perspective, yes, Chris Webber is significantly. I would say that Draymond Green is
from basketball perspective.
From basketball IQ, Chris Webber made some big mistakes. All right, so quickly, this one will be fast from Leaf Diggy.
Okay.
40 teams might take another 50 years. I said 30, so we're not that far off. And then our guy, Aramis Jones. What do y'all think about people who say Kyrie is a shorter Paul George with a tighter handle?
No,
I didn't know there was anyone who said that on this.
I didn't.
That's news to me too.
That's news to me too. I've never heard that before.
If Paul George was a 6'9" Kyrie, he'd be the best player in the NBA.
No, he would not.
Well, no, not necessarily because Kyrie don't play deep. Paul George played better.
I'm about to say.
Without the defense, I'm talking about on the offensive end. If Paul George could do what Kyrie do at 6'9", bro, who could guard him?
He can.
That's what I was about to say. Ticket.
If Kyrie was 6'9", he'd be the best player in the world.
Listen, Paul George.
If he played a little defense, I think so.
Honest. Hey, hold on. Hey, Bob, watch this right here.
Hey,
Bob, let's be honest. Everybody been scared to say this, but let's be realistic. Without those 2 Defensive Player of the Year awards and him playing on those 2 loaded teams, low key, Paul George is better than Kawhi Leonard. He got a better offensive package than Kawhi Leonard, and defensively, it's close.
I think
Kawhi peaked better as a defender, and his offensive peak, especially in the playoffs, is better than Paul George. Kawhi in the playoffs is way better than Paul
I actually saw Paul George lead 18. I never seen Kawhi really have to lead 18 yet.
Toronto?
Like through the No. I'm saying no. He jumped on teams. No, he jumped on a team that was good. I've seen Paul George lead.
Team built around for him, is what you're saying.
He made it to the conference finals in 2017 and he got hurt.
No, I'm saying right. Hold on.
Let me see if I got this right. What you're saying is Kawhi came into a perfect situation on the Spurs where the team was already built and he could grow. Then he got put into Toronto where that team was already winning. They were, I think, next to the Warriors, had the most wins. They were making it deep into the playoffs, and he was that final piece. We've never had a team built around Kawhi that went far. Is that what you're saying?
That's not Kawhi's fault.
Let me ask you this question.
2017.
The year after Duncan retired.
Do you think the way Paul hold on. Do you think the way Paul George is playing when he led the Pacers to the Eastern Conference Finals to play LeBron, do you think that Paul George with Kawhi, with Tim Duncan, them dudes, you think they could have won a chip too?
No.
Kawhi was playing.
Kawhi was crazy, man. Man, do y'all not know how good Paul George was before the injury?
I think Paul George in the 2014 Spurs, I think they still win. Me personally,
I agree with that, Tiki. I think Paul George could.
But I still think Kawhi is better than Paul George. But
The defender he was, and he was more polished offensively than Kawhi. Come on, man.
His defense has never been close to Kawhi's. Kawhi's defense is
slightly.
No, not slightly.
Not in 2014.
In 2014, Kawhi was clearly
clearly a better defender than Paul George.
To this day.
I'm talking about before that, and he got that injury. Paul George was elite offensively and defensively. He was probably one of the top.
Nobody not denying that. We're not denying that.
Right. I agree with you. I just think
all I'm saying is, if you put him on that Spurs team, he probably win 2 chips because he don't miss that free throw Kawhi missed in the finals.
You don't gotta do that.
Also, in 20, I just want to be.
That was to ice the game too, by the way.
In 2017, again, this is Manu Ginobili. I think on the last year of his career, Duncan is already retired. Kawhi was clearly the best player on that team, and he let that team.
No, he was not. Kawhi was a role player. He got
in 2017.
No, he wasn't.
Andre Iguodala.
Stop. I'm trying to save you right now. I'm trying to save you. 2017, he was not a role player.
Come on, the year they won the
He's talking about
2017, not the year they won the championship. 2017 is the year he's talking about.
Ticket talking about 2014.
We know what you're talking about, and I'm telling you what Low is talking about. We know what you're talking about.
He just sat here and said, do you think that Kawhi will be able to lead a team?
Hey, Marz, you shut up while your daddy talking. Go ahead, Lo.
You should listen then. You should listen. Jesus. No.
In 2017, he led that team deep into a postseason run. Undeniably.
And if he doesn't roll his ankle, I can't say with 100% certainty that the Warriors beat them. I can't.
They don't beat them. He was tearing KD.
I can't say with 100% certainty that
KD.
We're gonna take two more, and then we're gonna. I don't know. We're gonna talk about the Knicks.
The Knicks.
Chill. That's false. Shaq on a podcast telling everyone to shut the hell up when he passed Kareem in points.
Okay, well, that what's false? That Shaq told everybody?
Because Shaq said it.
Shaq told everybody? What are you talking about, Z-Dub? I already got my mind made up about the dude. So him passing him is not going to make me go, yo, this dude is the best ever. I already feel like that anyway.
You're not going to re-goat him?
No. So you shut the hell up. How about that?
Double crown.
Oh, my God.
Double crown him. All right.
It will be more impressive when he does it, though. It'd be more impressive than what Kareem did.
It's gonna be dope. I'm not gonna fight that, Lo. It's awesome to be able to see it twice in my lifetime. That's awesome, no doubt about that.
But why, Lo? Why is it more impressive than Kareem doing it?
Because he did.
Because he does more than Skyhook.
He did. No, he did in fewer games. Did it in less time. Why would it not be more impressive? He did it. He played in one of, if not the slowest pace eras for a good portion of his career. Why would it not be impressive? Why would it not be more impressive?
Hold on, a good portion of his career?
Between 2003 to 2013, if I want to say, actually might even go to 2015, is much slower than the 70s and 80s.
Versus Kareem. Okay.
Versus Kareem.
Okay. That makes sense then.
No, I actually think if I'm not mistaken, that's like the slowest. Outside of
the early 2000s, absolutely. 2000 to like 2010, whatever. Yeah.
I always give Kareem that credit for. Like Fluent, you said, because he didn't just do sky hooks. I always give Kareem credit for only taking 23s in his whole career. I think that's impressive to score that.
If you change all of LeBron's threes to 2-pointers, he would still pass him in fewer games.
That's cool, but he didn't. You know what I'm saying? I'm just talking about what
I get that, but that point is irrelevant when we talking about.
I think he's saying hitting. It's not relevant. Didn't he hit 1 3 his whole career?
Yeah, that's it.
He hit 1 3. So to me, that dominance in the paint to me is impressive.
Right. Oh, it's impressive, but yeah, it'd be more impressive when.
Let me read this one off, and then I think Ticket has something. So hold on, Ticket. LeBron breaking so many records to the point where it means nothing. No.
Who said it means nothing, Sai? Who said that? Nobody said that, Sai.
I think it comes from when Ticket said that it doesn't impress him because of, and then he listed off everything MJ achieved.
I just think listen, total career stats need to be taken into context because having the most total stats definitely speaks to your peak longevity, but you can't just say because one person has more total career anything. Is John Stockton a better
oh, thank God. Thank God. Thank goodness. Oh, my God.
It doesn't automatically make you better.
For the record point,
W hosting the chat for Fluent, man.
Besides Magic Johnson, yes, John Stockton is.
No, he's not.
But I'm saying it's not, if you're going to make that argument, it's not because he has more total assists. Just like I said this to Chill on Thursday. Tony Parker having more playoff points than Steph Curry, Wilt Chamberlain, Elgin Baylor. I missed a couple.
Durant.
Kevin Durant. It doesn't make Tony Parker a better playoff scorer than all those guys. There's like 7 guys on that list. It doesn't. You can make another case, but it's not just because he has more total points. That's all I'm saying.
Why not though, Fluent? Why not? Now I'm not sure. I'm not sure which way I'm going with that argument. I heard it. Actually, I heard it when you said it previous. But now that I'm thinking on it, I'm like, well, why not? He got more rings than most of them cats you just named.
We're not talking about rings.
So, now you're adding in. See, you're adding in something else. That's my point.
No, I'm not trying to add that. I'm not trying to add that in. I'm just saying that his scoring.
But you had to say
was added to those rings.
If you're only using one stat, and you're saying Tony Parker is a better playoff scorer than Curry, Elgin Baylor, Wilt Chamberlain, Steph Curry, Larry Bird, because he has more total playoff points than those guys, I don't think you have a case. You have to there needs to be more to the conversation. You need to have more.
I can understand that. But of that list, isn't Bird the only one on that list that has more rings than Tony Parker?
No, Bird only has 3. Bird only has 3. So the only
Tony Parker has more rings than
him and Steph are tied. Everyone else is
Steph. Well, Steph got 4. Okay. So
what do rings have to do with being a better scorer?
Have nothing to do with this at all. Nothing.
Yeah, well, I'm just curious. What do they have to do with being a better scorer?
Yeah, let me get to that. What I'm saying is like, if he has more points than him, and his points led to him having more rings than most of those guys, why isn't he? Why don't those points mean more?
See what you just did? You added context to it. That's my point. Is that you can't just say because he has more, he's better. You have to say something else. That's my point. You're proving my point.
I got you. Hey, Fluent, can I see that last super chat that just came up?
Hold on. Which? No.
Where the big
Ron. Ignore them as they flash up. That's Ron. That's Ron doing what he shouldn't be doing, getting in the way here in the background. I got it, Ron. Win host. I'm not you. All right, so we're gonna do. Let's go.
Hold on. Ticket has something. Ticket had a question. Ticket had a question. Ticket. What were you talking about?
My bad. You right.
I think we lost.
I just wanted to ask Fluent. Do he think? Because my whole point was about what I was saying about Paul George and Kawhi was this. I think that Paul George is a better basketball player than Kawhi Leonard. I think Kawhi got credit for the teams he was on and that he was a slightly better defender. But I think Paul George, he did himself a disservice by going to be a B to Kawhi. Because if he never was the B side to Kawhi, Paul George could have been the A side the rest of his career. While he was in his prime, Paul George, it was a year he almost won the MVP over there with OKC. So I'm just saying, I personally think, I don't know if y'all think I'm delusional for saying it or not, but
yeah,
I was trying to say the low is that Kawhi had a lot of handouts in his career. He had a lot of handouts. He came in the league to a low.
I don't know about handouts.
Ticket. I always say this. I stand with Ticket. I hear what you're saying. Paul George is probably the more skilled or talented offensive player coming out the gate. Kawhi had to really work on his offensive game. I think the gap defensively is bigger than you're giving them credit for.
But after those 2 years, after those 2 years, Kawhi Leonard, like he was number 1 in the league in defense. He completely fell off planet Earth. He hadn't been nowhere near the same for years, and I mean for years. He hadn't been nowhere near the same.
I think now he's a better offensive player, though. I think for the past 2 to 3 years, he's been a better offensive player than.
I don't think so. I think it's
maybe the past 4. I said maybe the past 5.
Every year Kawhi's been healthy since 2017. I think he's been better offensively than.
No, but I think he's took a back.
Maybe the past 5 or 4 years, bro. He's been better.
No, maybe like 2 years, but.
I think it's just because he took a back seat.
2 to 5 years.
I think it's because he took a back seat, bro. He didn't have to take it.
Hold on, 2 out of 5 years. So my man's healthy 40% of the time.
But what about? So you said Paul George on those Spurs, right? Mm-hmm. But what if Kawhi was on those Pacers? Could they have faded?
Oh no, Kawhi Leonard would have got walked at that time in his career. He got walked.
I agree with Ticket. At that time in his career, yes, Kawhi Leonard was not the offensive player that they needed him to be. But in 2017, that Spurs team was not this loaded team. Kawhi was a better offensive player than Paul George. In 2019,
I disagree, man. I don't think time until they went up to the Clippers, Kawhi was better offensively than Paul George. I don't think so, man.
You're drastically
Paul George
he had one of the better, I believe, in the 2019 season. I think he averaged like 30 a game, something like that.
30 a game in the postseason.
In the postseason. That's just not in the regular season. In the regular season, I think he averaged 25 or 26, and it went up in the postseason. He had a money mid-range game. His one-on-one game was incredible. He was one of the best transition players in the game. Just like I think it was a little bit better than Paul George. But when you think about Kawhi as an overall player offensively, I think that he was elite. It wasn't even a question.
The drop off for Paul George in the postseason is what's stopping him from being in this conversation. And Kawhi elevates in the playoffs. It's just
we get that is important.
What
they do playoffs? Do they go up or down in the playoffs? That's important. But we got a big two-parter. Hold on, we got a big two-parter. So I want to bear with me here. We'll do part 1, and then I'll read part 2, and then we can answer. Okay. What do y'all think about New Orleans? My guy Armis Jones again. What do y'all think about New Orleans this year? And what do y'all think is their window? 3 years, 5 years, 1 year? Also, I don't know if y'all heard the recent controversy, but BI is currently out with a toe contusion, not to be confused with turf toe. Hold on, that's part 1. Let me just finish part 2 here, if I can find it. Part 2. Part 2. On toxic Twitter, people are wanting BI traded after an article written by Christian Clark came out stating supposedly the injury isn't as severe as Desmond Bane's, and right now the front office is waiting on BI is comfortable to play. So I guess the big question is,
wow,
the Pelicans.
I didn't know that about BI though.
Neither did I. Isn't a contusion just a bruise?
That's all it is. That's
all it is. So he's got a bruise on his toe. He's not playing. So do the Pelicans? What does their window first look like?
See, this is what.
And how does BI play into that?
This is what gets my blood pressure up, because we talk about these guys and why they not going to be all-time greats when their careers are over. Number one, they don't play through injury. We're talking about a dude not with a toe, with turf toe. We're talking about a dude with a bruised toe. Why has he been out half the season? Why has he not played?
Because it might be his big toe.
I'm sorry, I'm getting animated about this, but guys who don't play through injuries that they should be playing through to get their bodies acclimated, so when they're able to play longer, they can be more productive, as opposed to a dude who's playing with a bruised toe, who's basically missed half the season. How can you justify that to me when you're telling me that this dude is one of the better players in the game? Because
why doesn't he want to play? Does anyone know?
Being tough is part of being a great player. Let's make sure that we 100% clear on that. Being tough is one of the main reasons we talk about some of the great players in the game, is because of how tough they are. Their mentality.
Kawhi Leonard's not a great player.
That's not true. He is a great player.
Being tough is part of it.
And it is. And he's played through injury, Tone. Don't make it sound like he's never played through injury. Yes, he has.
He has, but come on.
He has played.
But we know Kawhi body. Come on.
He's played through injury. I think the difference.
I mean, degenerative knees and a bruised toe is
that's completely different, Marz. Absolutely. Not only is that different, it was way different. Not only that degenerative knee, it was way worse than what they told us back in 2019 when he started to break down. As opposed to Brandon Ingram.
Y'all really hate Kawhi.
I like Kawhi.
No, I like Kawhi.
I love Kawhi Leonard. I love Kawhi Leonard. But
Kawhi brought my city a chip. I love Kawhi.
He's still a little salty that Leonard left.
I'm mad that he left.
Yeah, he a little salty that he left, though. Don't think that he ain't on.
I'm mad that he left because he said he couldn't find gloves big enough. We would have made him some custom gloves.
Oh my God. That's a crazy. But to answer his question about
answer his question, please.
The window. The Pelicans' window was fairly wide. Like to this year, what they need to do is just get in the playoffs and attempt to make a deep postseason run to get some experience, similar to what we saw from Ja Morant and the Memphis Grizzlies last year. After that, once they start getting some deep postseason runs or see at least some playoff success, then they can start making alterations to the roster that is more best suited for really just Zion and some of the younger players. Brandon Ingram long term might not fit into that identity, largely just because I think that not only with the injuries, but also depending on how Zion develops as a player, he might not be necessary. However, as of right now, I think that duo is the most ideal. So you would want BI to be playing. Why he's not playing, if it's because of a bruised toe, that sucks. But the fact that they've still been a competent team with even when he's off the floor is further validating the point that this team might not need him moving forward. So it's not that it sucks that he's not playing because you would want the best thing to maximize. You want the best to maximize this roster. But the reality is, like, bro, as long as Zion is out there and as long as some of those other young players are developing, that's way more important for this roster to extend this potential run for a 5-year stretch. They need to also get a big out there. Not Valanciunas, Al Horford, Brook Lopez type of bigs. That's what.
What's wrong with Valanciunas?
I think they need more a defensive oriented big who can stretch the floor out as well. Al Horford, Brook Lopez kind of does that a little bit better than Valanciunas does.
All right, Marz. What's their? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
You consider trading BI then? Hello?
I don't consider trading him because again, I would like to see what that looks like in the playoffs before I start making some drastic alterations. So like back when early in Giannis's career, we got to see a couple of runs with him and Eric Bledsoe in that group, Malcolm Brogdon, before they start making alterations. All right, this Bledsoe thing isn't working. Let's try to shift and go get Drew Holiday. And that was the missing piece of what they.
So you need a larger sample size is what you're looking for.
Yeah, we just need a larger sample.
You need a larger sample size.
Low and chill town.
Go ahead, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Let's just be honest, man. These dudes have figured out the system, and Kawhi too, man. That motherfucker ain't hurt. Excuse me, my language. That dude ain't hurt that much for to be out like that, bro. Listen, because when he come back, he yamming on dudes, doing all this crazy stuff. He ain't that hurt. Listen, they have mastered the system of playing long and getting big checks. So the longer they play, the fatter the checks they gonna get. So if them dudes can stretch it out by playing minimal games, because the problem is if the NBA gets less games, those guys are gonna play less. So that's the problem. They're gonna do whatever they can do to extend their careers to be able to get bigger checks and play more because they're paying so much money now. Guys can make $500 million during their career now. You know what I'm saying? A star player can make $500 million during their career now if they play long enough. So to me, they pimping the system, man. That's it.
So let me ask you, Ticket, though, but is that solely on the players, or are the owners of the teams also buying into it because, hey, the longer that my star player plays, the more years that he plays, the more money that I make?
Well, yeah, because they feel like they can make money off of it. It's going to backfire. It's going to backfire with them TV deals. The TV deal, you heard what's going on with TNT. The Shaq and them show might be done after this season. They're just not making money from it no more, man. They're killing the product because when you go on, LeBron and KD haven't played in 4 years. That's crazy, bro.
That is
like
together.
Kawhi and LeBron played one time. Right? Come on, bro. Like that's
4 years.
That's unbelievable, bro. Your star players ain't even playing. How can I market games? How can I do games like this? And our key guys, AD is not playing on yesterday. All the games that was on TV, or another superstar is not playing. Somebody else, KD's not playing, or somebody else not playing.
Yeah, you going.
It's always something, bro. Yeah. Paul George. Right.
Yeah, we're losing you to get. But I hear what he's saying because I remember.
I got you.
Now to answer
the Bucks came to town and they weren't sure is Giannis going to play because it was questionable. And it's like, man, questionable for what? Rest.
I've always hated this load management garbage. It's goofy. It's always been goofy to me, and it'll always be goofy to me. I'm sorry, but to answer,
I'll just oh my bad. Go ahead.
To expand on Lowe's point, I think that New Orleans number one, I still think they're missing the lead guard. And I think that hole needs to be filled with for them to have a legit chance in the Western Conference, because there's a reason why CJ played off the ball when he was in Portland, because he was better off the ball. When he's on the ball, he's not as good. He's not as good as a facilitator as he is a scorer when he's playing on the ball. Even though he's still good, he's just not as good. And if they had a lead guard that could be more of a distributor and more of a floor leader, and for CJ to play off of him, I think CJ would be much better. And if I could
you got anybody in mind, Chill? Like who?
I was thinking something like a Mike Conley type. I'm not necessarily thinking Mike Conley, but I'm thinking like a Mike Conley type of guy where I can get this guy. He could get us. He not only can he be a threat offensively, but he could also keep us calm. So when the playoffs start, we got a lot of guys that aren't really experienced, as opposed to guys that need to understand what the playoffs are going to look like. And if we got a heady point guard that's going to keep us focused, by the time we get to the playoffs, we got a much better chance, as opposed to we running with CJ, who's already playing out of place at the lead guard.
So you don't want Fred VanVleet?
I'm not interested in Fred VanVleet.
I get him to you. I just want to impress everybody that I can read this name, Kostas Papis. Mm-hmm. That's all. I just wanted to say that. All right, now back to the super chats.
Let me ask you. Because I seen something in the chat, and this never crossed my mind, but now I'm thinking on it though. Like, Jordan retired twice. Is that a form of load management?
No,
because he didn't retire to just sit at home and rest. Mm-hmm. He retired and went and played minor league.
Are y'all making excuses for Jay now?
Honestly, why did he retire the first time?
Do you know how hard it is to go to AA with not single A, going straight into AA baseball? Have you ever played baseball?
No, but why did he retire?
Terrible at baseball. Why did he retire? I can't. I'm okay in the outfield, but I can't hit the ball.
I honestly think that he retired because he didn't want to play basketball no more. If it wasn't for that baseball strike, I don't think Jay ever comes back.
But why?
I think you're right.
I don't think he ever comes back.
His dad's dream for him was to play baseball.
I don't think he comes back. If that
I mean, I was like 5'6". I don't know what was going on. You know?
Yeah, and he was dealing with a lot during that time. That one season, that 92-93 season, they were on him. They were on him about any and everything possible. So I didn't think that he would quit, but when I didn't think that he would retire. But when his father passed, it was a huge blow, right?
Yeah.
It was a huge blow to him. And with him retiring, I thought that he was over. I thought that he was over, and I didn't think he was coming back.
For those that say he was horrible, he went straight into AA, which is really hard. He didn't start in single A, and yes, he started off slow. Of course, you're completely using different things to play one sport and the other. Just go watch Kenny Smith try to kick a soccer ball. Just because you're good at one sport, did you guys see that last night? Does not mean you're good at another sport. He was actually hitting, I think, around 280. He was actually starting to get better, and then you're right. The strike hits and. The timing was just perfect.
Now in '98, when they won the championship against Utah, he didn't want to quit. If Phil comes back,
he didn't want to start over.
He did not want to quit. He got basically forced into retiring because he made it clear, I'm not playing for no damn Tim Floyd. Hell no, I'm not playing for Tim Floyd. No.
Would Kobe have left, or Kobe would have played for anybody?
Well, he did. He played for.
Kobe would have left. Kobe would have stood tall for Phil. Kobe would have stood tall the way he did Phil. Kobe would have left.
In the middle of
Fluent, you capping for Jay right now. You capping for Jay right now, Fluent. I mean, Ticket. My bad. You capping for Jay right now, Ticket.
All right, a couple more super chats. Here we go. We will get. Okay, you know what? Let's just do this. We'll get to the super chats.
Wait. Let me ask this real quick though. Do y'all know what's going? All right, I don't want to.
No, go ahead. Ask the question.
If y'all hate what's going on in New Orleans, I know y'all hate what's going on in Atlanta. Or do y'all know what's going on in Atlanta?
Oh, I don't. Hey, don't even get me. Yes, matter of fact, let's talk about what's going on.
In Atlanta is like I've never
Ticket got my blood because Ticket and this is in a good way, but Ticket got my blood pressure up because I'm on Ticket page. Me and Ticket go at it all the time. But if I gotta watch Trae Young run Nate McMillan out of the game, I swear, man, it's gonna make me nuts. So I can't handle it.
That might cause me to boycott. I love
for real. If I gotta watch,
do y'all know the full picture though? The full picture is actually much worse.
I can only imagine, Lo, because it looks to me like it's a James Harden Houston situation where he's just doing whatever he want in Atlanta. He don't answer to nobody. Not only does he not answer to nobody, he come and go when he feel like it. He practice when he feels like it. He plays when he feels like it. If I gotta watch Trae Young run Nate McMillan out of the game, and you guys know how I feel about the NBA. I'm a huge NBA fan. Y'all gonna hear from me. I swear you are gonna hear from me.
So for people who don't know, so what OG's saying is part of it. There's many reports claiming that Trae just got way too much juice in Atlanta, like way too much, and they're gonna just bounce Nick McMillan off the team after this season. That in and of itself is crazy, but then the general manager
let me pause for a second. Don't they have to? You traded Luka Doncic for Trae Young.
No, Tony, we're not doing that. No,
you can't then trade Trae Young. You can't.
No, but hold on, it gets worse. All right, so Travis Schlenk, who is the
Knicks coming. 2 minutes. We're talking. Knicks.
Well,
Go ahead.
Travis Schlenk is who's been making the decision making for Atlanta for the better part of the last 3 or 4 years. Just got a contract extension. However, in the middle of the year, they demoted him from the VP to VP of basketball operations, or not even VP, president of basketball operations. They demoted him to just an advisor. And then it was he could stay on the team for however long he wanted to and then go off. But now it's like he can just leave in total. To replace him, they bring in Landry Fields, ex-NBA player for those who grew up in my time watching basketball.
Former Knick.
They also brought in one of Fields' friends who has been covering the Warriors for 6 years.
The way this is going,
it's about to get worse.
I don't like it.
The Suns owner, the owner's son is also in the front office right now.
Right, that's fine. Nepotism is a part of it.
No, it gets worse. And then the son's friend is also in the front office right now.
I gotta get better friends.
in particular, and he's like Billy Bob said, he's 27 years old. The owner's son is 27 years old, and his friend isn't that much older than him. And they're in the front office, and they've had a lot of influence on what this team was going to do. And there's also a lot of belief that they do essentially whatever Trae wants to do. They're basically going alongside Trae. It's the reason why they brought in Landry Fields, ex-NBA player, relatively young. Landry Fields only like 35 himself, so they can all relate to Trae Young way more often. Then there's concerns that DeJounte Murray isn't speaking up enough because there's a belief that he's just going to leave after his contract is over. And if you don't know, Murray's contract expires after next season. And the reason why is because he just left San Antonio, one of the most,
and they gave up 3. I think they gave up 3 1s for him, by the way.
3 1s, and I think 2 of them are unprotected.
Right.
He left San Antonio, one of the most well-ran franchise, to go on a team to potentially sacrifice.
Right.
And then he just ended up in one of the most drama-filled franchises, and they're not even winning.
So Nate McMillan found himself in a situation that he's basically in a lose-lose situation, because even if they do end up making another playoff run like they did in 2021, which I doubt very seriously, because they're going to end up trading, which I doubt very seriously, because they're going to end up moving off of John Collins too. That's another name. So if they end up moving off of John Collins, and Nate McMillan is in a losing situation, because number one, I got to deal with a star who I can't tell him anything. And that's not the way Nate McMillan is built. Nate McMillan is from an era of, despite how much money these guys make, which is also a problem, despite how much money these make, I am still the coach and my word matters. So it sounds to me like basically he's got to talk to other people to even get Trae Young to listen to him.
Yeah.
And if I have to watch Trae Young run Nate McMillan out of the game, who is one of the better coaches in the game, who's always been one of the better coaches, oh, that's going to be terrible.
I'm going to ask you guys an insane question. An insane question. Once upon a time, what coaches were getting paid was actually more, or actually close to what the players were making. And throughout the years with TV deals, players have gotten paid more and more and more and more. And you just said it right now with how much the players are getting paid, and they're getting paid significantly more than do they need to pay coaches more? Would that change the dynamic?
I think so.
I don't think it changes the dynamic, but I mean,
you don't think it changes?
I'm happy.
I agree with you,
the raise, but I don't think
it
changes the dynamic.
Yeah, I ain't against nobody getting more money, so I definitely agree with you on that. You can go get more money, but I think even if they get more money, it's still not going to be close enough to what the players are going to start being making, to where it's like going to make the difference of like, oh, maybe we got to hold off on. I don't think that's going to happen. You got
to think about it too, though. I mean, you see it Fluent. You coach the youth. We're dealing with kids that when they're 11, they might grow a little quicker, and these kids might turn out to be something. They might turn out to be nothing. As far as sports goes, I mean, not personally who they are.
I hear you.
Like a sports coach, they could turn out to be something. They could turn out to be nothing. But then you got moms in the stands like, oh, my baby's going to the NBA. Don't talk to him like that. You can do this. Oh, you got the newest shoes. They're prima donnas. They're groomed from babies to not listen to any authority. We got 12-year-old kids out here cussing out refs. You know what I'm saying? It's like it doesn't.
Not on my watch, but I know what you're saying. When I'm coaching, I'm not of you making the NBA, you're more likely to get struck by lightning twice. So don't talk back, or you'll be running. So that's different. I run my ship a little.
But I'm saying, and then you got the kids that actually are phenoms though. When they're 13 and they are 6'5" and can shoot from anywhere. You do have those kids, and I'm not saying all of them, but a lot of these kids though, it's like they're taught that. Like I don't got to listen to nobody because I'm playing for this AAU team. We're sponsored by Nike. We're sponsored by Adidas. So I don't care what my coach says. I don't care what this ref says. We're in Houston today. We're gonna be in Phoenix tomorrow at the tournament. I don't care. This doesn't mean nothing to me. So they're brought up this way. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying it's necessarily just the parents, but because some parents can't even afford to travel on these trips anyway. So they don't know what's going on. These coaches are letting these kids get away with murder.
Oh, I'm sorry. Just a quick update. Literally just yesterday, Kyle Korver was named the assistant GM. Bro.
You didn't know that?
Yeah. I didn't know that.
Of Atlanta?
For Atlanta, they turned over everybody. Wow.
To piggyback off what Bob just said. The truth is, man, is the coaches are too soft.
Agreed.
We grew up.
The coaches are too soft in the NBA.
All coaches are too soft, but you're right.
They're gonna get fired, bro. They're gonna get fired.
Right. You
want to be too soft.
Right. That's how it is. Too soft, but if they push back, it's a lot easier to trade a coach, change a coach, than trade a bunch of players. So the coach is always going to lose in today's game, and that's part of the problem. That's what's happening in Atlanta.
Now, Ticket,
I think it's these high school youth coaches that are too soft.
Now, Ticket, I understand where you're coming from, because there's no way that this kind of relationship would go on between Trae Young and Phil Jackson, right? There's no way that this kind of relationship would go on between Trae Young and Eric Spoelstra or Pat Riley, right? Guys that we grew up watching, Lenny Wilkins or KC Jones. There's no way that this kind of relationship would go on between those guys. But
no, I disagree with you.
No way, Tone. No way with Trae Young.
Did Jerry Sloan and what was that?
Aaron Williams. And here's the difference.
Aaron Williams. Did that not happen with those two?
That was
at the end. Okay, all right.
That was at the end.
He was too old that time to be dealing with them young cats, man.
Right. That's what he was at with it.
He would have caught Jerry Sloan in his prime, or he'd have fought Darren Williams.
No way. There was no way that was going on.
Let me tell you something, Tone. Back then, the coaches were willing to get down with you now. Yes. The coaches were willing to get down, and the assistant coaches too.
No, it would have never came to that though, Ticket. It would have never, because they would have known better. They would have known that they would have known what they're dealing with.
They would have known better, because of this. Here's something that I think the league misses too. I think it should be a requirement to have a guy like Udonis Haslem on every team. You need one of those type of veteran dudes that just go to beat the hell out of people on every single team, bro.
Who's the adult? Who's the adult on the crew?
In Atlanta, none.
PJ Carlissimo get choked out too? Like,
I'm about to say, PJ Carlissimo got choked out. What's his name? Got slammed by Vince Carter. Like, bro,
he did not get slammed by that is a false story.
That's what I got told. Sam
Mitchell did not get, maybe got knocked over. He did get slammed.
Knocked over.
And they was just playing around too.
They're playing around.
It's not gonna happen with Eric Spoelstra because of UD, but also because Pat Riley's not having that in his program. It's not. So sometimes you might have a coach that don't play like that, but if he doesn't like for instance, what you're saying is going on in Atlanta. Nate McMillan's not going for that, but he don't got the front office having his
behind
back
him, because some dudes work for Trae.
I can't blame it all on the coaches. The coaches are outnumbered everywhere they go.
Now I'm with you on that, but I know from an era where, I mean, even when Oak was an assistant coach over there in Charlotte, I mean, the players will tell you, if Oak will whoop your ass. He'll be like, hey, look, if you don't listen to what I'm gonna say, I'm gonna beat your ass, period.
But I still think that's the majority. There's cases, but I still think the majority do work the right way.
Did you hear what I said? Did you hear what I said about Atlanta? Because you was out.
Yeah, no, I heard you said about Kyle Korver.
No,
not just Kyle Korver. The whole story about what's going on.
But listen, here's the thing. Sometimes if the coach is a jackass and nobody likes him, not even the go hard dude, they'll let you get one off on him. PJ Carlissimo was a dude nobody liked. Everybody hated that motherfucker. So that was just a situation where nobody liked PJ Carlissimo. He was a jackass if you ask any player in the league. So if you did something to him, nobody was going to care. But it was nobody that was going to step up and touch Pop, because you know why? Because the first thing Pop did was he came to those dudes hard, but he came to them with respect. So they earned respect for him because of the way he came at them from the jump. And then you can look at all the way across the board. Even Phil Jackson. Phil Jackson seems so cool and calm. Phil Jackson to jump on your ass in practice. He do all of his coaching in practice. So when you see him in the game, he don't have to do all that crazy stuff. That's why he was the most relaxed guy. Larry Brown in his younger days, he'll jump on your ass. He wasn't taking no shit for none of the guys, man. So if you look all the way across the board at all of those old school coaches, those dudes were willing to get down and fight you, bro. They were willing to, and players respected that. Jeff Van Gundy would jump in a fight for you. Remember he got his shit split open trying to get in the Marcus Camby thing? When you got coaches, guys are going to respect coaches like this. Yeah. Yeah,
plus you also got to remember too that these coaches like Pat Riley, like Phil Jackson, they get their star on board, right? Popovich, he goes after Tim Duncan in a respectful way, and Tim Duncan gets on board. Well, if Duncan on board, I better get on board too. If Jordan is on board, I better get on board too, right? So if Ewing is on board, then I better get on board too, because these dudes automatically they automatically get the respect. They automatically give the respect to Pat Riley. They automatically give the respect to Greg Popovich. They automatically give the respect to these coaches. So that means that the other guys down the line, they also have to fall in line, as opposed to guys like Trae Young, who he shows up from the stories that you're telling me, he show up when he feel like it. I practice when I feel like it. And the coach can't really tell me anything. And because the coach can't really tell me anything, if he can't tell me nothing, he can't tell him nothing either.
All right, we're heading into the last 30 minutes. And we need to talk about the New York Knicks. 7-3 in their last 10. sitting in 6th place after a loss to your Toronto Raptors in double overtime. Look, I think they're better than most people thought. I'm going to start with low because I see you love the Knicks. Are they a serious threat in these NBA playoffs? If they were to start today, they'd be playing the Milwaukee Bucks in the first round.
They're not a serious threat, but they are better than what people thought. The volume and what you see from Julius Randle, he started the season slow. Over the last, I want to say 10 to 15 games, he's been much better. So that's great. Jalen Brunson is coming along as well. If I'm not too familiar with what RJ Barrett is doing, but I know for a fact Brunson and Julius Randle have definitely turned around. And on both sides of the floor, they're actually very competent. If I'm not mistaken, they're top 10 on both offense and defense. And offensively, like I said, they have a lot of contributing factors. I don't think that they're a playoff team or a deep postseason team just because they don't have enough. They don't have a quality player that I believe his play will translate to the postseason. I don't think they have that. And in the Eastern Conference, I think there's legitimately 5 or 6 teams that have separated themselves from the pack. And I don't think they're going to have a
first round matchup of either Boston, Brooklyn, Milwaukee, or Philly. Looks
and that's too much. And that's
they have
a lot.
Any chance against any one of those 4?
They could be Philly.
They could be Philly. Everybody thinks everyone could be Philly.
No,
everybody thinks. Why does everyone? Okay, so let me go to Marz first. Marz, New York, a threat in the playoffs or just a great regular season first round bounce?
Yeah, so it's a first round exit. We saw this in 2021. They were 4 seed, 5 seed, lost in the first round to Atlanta. This year, the East is better in terms of the top heavy teams. They lose to Boston, they lose to Brooklyn, they lose to Milwaukee, they lose to Philly. So they don't beat any of those. I think they lose to Cleveland. So there's a bunch of teams who they're just not as good as. So they're a first round exit, but it's cool that they're not trash. Good for them, I guess.
Yeah, facts.
It's cool that they're not trash. Ox.
I don't know. It'll be a hard first round. Hopefully they can match up with Philly. That's their best chance.
Why do you said that? Why do you think they can beat Philly?
Joel and James Harden just not reliable in the playoffs. I mean, I don't see it. I just don't. So I'm biased. I guess I got a big bias.
Is Julius Randle reliable?
It's about the Knicks, and it's more about Philly just not being able to finish.
Yeah. It's more about the Knicks, and plus, I know a lot of people don't like Julius Randle as much as I do. I like Julius Randle,
but is he reliable in the playoffs though?
I don't know.
Yes, you do. Yeah, you do.
Relax, though. Let me answer. I don't think Julius Randle's been to the playoffs enough for me to say that he is reliable.
So, with that being said, Big Ox, from what you've seen, how do you feel about Julius Randle going into the playoffs?
I don't feel any way. I don't feel any way either negative or positive. You know what I'm saying? But I do have a negative feeling towards Joel and James Harden in the playoffs.
Because you've seen more from those two guys.
Yeah, I think so. And on top of that, I mean, we all know I'm biased to those two. I'm biased towards those two cats. I don't have any faith in them at all.
I think Miami is just better as well, though. I think
I had the Knicks as a playing team before the season started, and they right outside the playing tournament at the number 6 spot. I've watched Jalen Brunson down the stretch of games choke at the free throw line. My primary ball handler needs to make free throws on a consistent basis, and I've seen him do that. I've seen him not do that a number of different times. I think that RJ Barrett has gotten a lot better. He has done that in the past where the season has started off slow and then he's basically picked it up, and he's doing that again this year. So the problem that I'm also having is I'm having a problem with Mitchell Robinson, and I'm having a problem with their rotation. I always felt like Obi Toppin, I think he's Kenny Skywalker. I don't think that you're really going to get much from him off the bench in terms of when you talk about production from him, rebounds, being able to defend. He's not much of a scorer, but a rebounder, a defender, a guy who's going to speed the game up and give them what they need in the playoffs. I'm more of a hustle guy, so I think they're a first round exit.
You don't like Mitchell Robinson?
I think
he fouls way too much.
Well, not only does he foul way too much, his ability, he should be a better rebounder than what he is. No doubt about that. I still stand on the logic. The kid, Mark Williams in Charlotte, I think he's better than Mitchell Robinson today. And the fact that the Knicks passed on him, I think they made a mistake. Because I like
Mark Williams a lot.
I think he would have been much better. I think he would have been a much better fit for that New York Knicks team than Mitchell Robinson.
Yeah, a lot of people miss with Mark Williams.
I think it's because of his age coming out of college. That's why people were hesitant. But he showed everything you need from an interior big.
All right, well, there you go, New York Knicks fans. There's your moment to shine. James Dolan, my offer still stands. 5 years, Knicks in the finals, or I give you all your money back if I'm your GM. So we're going to go through some speed rounds.
Let me get my answer.
You forgot about Ticket. You forget about Ticket.
No, he been cutting in and out. Sorry, go ahead, Ticket. Go ahead, Ticket.
Nah, I'm on the fence with y'all, and I'm off the fence because I'm honest with y'all. I think they're gonna make a move at the deadline. I think they come off a lot of those picks at the deadline. I think they might make a sneaky move and go get somebody over there from either Utah or they might make a move that'll help them get out the first round. I see them coming off those picks, make some type of move at the deadline. Maybe like a disgruntled star or something like that.
Who's a legit
like Jordan Clarkson or something?
Hold on. Ticket, who's a legit get for the Knicks that puts them over the hump, you think?
Well, what do you mean? I mean, talking about the first round playoffs. I'm saying everybody's saying they're going to the first round. I'm saying I see some moves out there. I think they can go get I believe that a guy like I can't even say that now.
Before you even answer that, before you answer that question, Ticket, what do you think the problem is with the Knicks? Let's start there. Where do you think the problem is with the Knicks?
They need another star. They need star talent. They need another star.
So they don't have a.
They're lacking. No, but they're lacking star power. They don't have a super. Right. They don't have a star. They don't have a superstar, and they don't have a star. They have good players. So they got good players and a good coach, but they don't have anything great.
Who's a star player that could be on the move at the deadline?
Well, no. I'm saying to get out the first round. I'm saying Elder said something about this the other day. So, but I'm just thinking that this could help them get the first round. I like the way Laurie Markkin's playing. I think if they come up some of them picks, they can go get Laurie Markkin from Utah. I think that helps them get out the first round.
You can shake your head if you want, Lo. Don't let Danny Ainge fool you. Do not let Danny Ainge fool you. I was just about to say that.
Listen. I think adding Laurie Markkin to the team, the way he's playing this year, he averaging like 22, something like that this year. I think the way Markkin's playing,
he's getting busy.
I think a player like him, I think he's going to blossom into being a real good player in the next 3 or 4 years. I think that he helps them get if they play a team like I think they can beat Brooklyn in the first round. I really do. I think if they had a guy like Laurie Markkin, I think they could beat Brooklyn in the first round. I don't think Brooklyn. From what I watch, no, I'm saying. Well, they saying Kyrie's hurt again now. No, I'm saying with combination.
They'll bully Brooklyn.
No, I'm saying the combination of what we've seen. I do think if they play Brooklyn in the first round, I think they can surprise Brooklyn, bro. I really do.
But is Brooklyn healthy though?
No, that's my point.
My point.
If a healthy Brooklyn loses to the Knicks, I want Kevin Durant and Kyrie to both retire.
Oh wow.
I
won't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if they beat Brooklyn.
Hold on. What do you mean? Hold on. Sorry, what do you mean you're not going that far? If a healthy KD and Kyrie with the Nets lose to the Knicks,
because they got Laurie Markkin,
no excuse. Because they got Laurie Markkin.
I'm not excusing them, but I ain't saying that you dudes got to quit. You got them quitting? Like you dudes shouldn't play in the NBA no more.
So they need to leave. How about this? They need to leave Brooklyn. It didn't work.
Oh, absolutely. That didn't work.
Go somewhere else. Okay.
You already know how I feel about Brooklyn. I'm out. You already know that. I'm out on Brooklyn. So you already know how I feel.
How are you feeling about Brooklyn, Fluent?
That's
not a normal series. That's not a normal series. That's a rivalry. That's a rival series. So that's a
series. That is a
series either way. If New York was a steal a game in Brooklyn, that's in the first two. That gets real interesting because now, do the Brooklyn Nets go back and win both in New York with the way them fans gonna be coming back to the Knicks, to Madison Square Garden. I'm be honest with y'all, man. This year, I really think this year for some teams is wide open, man. I think the West is wide open. I think the East isn't secure. I don't think the East is secure as people think. I think Boston can be had against a certain team in the playoffs.
I don't have as much confidence in Milwaukee today as I did 2 months ago. I still think they're the favorites in the East, but I'm not as confident today as I was 2 months ago about that. I still feel that way.
Marking the average on
only
25.
teams in the East I'm confident is Boston. Is Boston.
Marking average 25.
Milwaukee, I don't know.
Marking average 25.
You said Marking average 25.
25 or near 50, 40, 90.
And listen, he's balling and they're overachieving. So we can't just like downplay him because he's killing. And remember, he was supposed to be big time anyway. They said he underachieved in Chicago. So he basically doing what he's supposed to be doing now. So I like Lauri. When we look at Lauri Markkanen, bro, I like him a lot. I like his game, bro. I think an addition like him to the New York Knicks, you give him that length, athleticism, and a guy who can put the ball in the bucket like that, I think that helps them get out the first round. I don't think that takes them to the NBA Finals or no crazy shit like that. But I agree with y'all. Without him, I think they're going to exit. Unless they play Brooklyn, I think that's a rivalry series.
All right, we're gonna jump back into the super chats. Here we go. It's about damn time if we put prime MJ on that Heat team with Wade and Bosh and put prime LeBron on that Bulls team with Rodman and Scotty. Who wins the most chips? Ticket.
Jordan. Who wins the most chips or who wins more chips?
Who wins the most chips?
It says the most.
Because Jordan would win 3 chips with that team. He's not. What happened in 2011 is not going to happen though. You know.
They both repeat, in my opinion. They both just repeat.
They don't both repeat, bro.
Hold on.
LeBron James ain't got that Jordan shit in the repeat, man. Cut that shit out.
Let me ask Marz that question. So you think on that team with Pippen, who missed a lot of time due to injury, and Rodman, where Jordan basically had to score like 50% of the points, you think LeBron just steps in no problem and they still three-peat?
Have we not?
I'm not saying no problem. But yes, I think
I'm asking Marz a question.
I think in the regular season, if you put LeBron in a situation where he has to keep the team at a high level, floor raising that team, and then he has his healthy pieces in the playoffs with that team, that defense, that Chicago Bulls second three-peat defense, which was elite. Yes, I think they three-peat.
Man, boy, you don't
think LeBron, you think somehow going to Chicago magically takes away from him having that 2011 series?
The question was prime LeBron. Prime LeBron isn't 2011 to me.
Prime LeBron? Yeah, it is.
I don't think
maybe not peak
LeBron.
LeBron.
Yeah. Well, when I'm thinking prime LeBron, and you say the 3 years with Scotty and Rodman, I'm picking the best 3 years of LeBron in my opinion, 2012 to 2014.
Man, cut this cap.
That's how I'm viewing it.
Lost 6 NBA finals. He lost 6 NBA finals, bro. Mainly picking his own team. Don't do this, Marz. Please don't do this, dog. Because you like Elder said, you don't even need to be talking about basketball and stuff you saying right now, bro. It's levels to this. It's a mental level. Listen, it's bigger than analytics, boy. It's a mental, it's a spiritual level. When you do what Jordan did, which is win 6 chips, do 2 3-peats, and not go to a game 7 in either one. That is a whole different mental level. LeBron James would have been ready to trade the whole goddamn Chicago Bulls team after they hit one bump.
I agree with that. He would have been ready to trade.
I don't want to hear that, Marz. I don't want to hear that. He ain't mentally. That's the reason why you can never, in my eyes, compare LeBron to Mike and Kobe. Those guys. That's the only thing. That's the only thing that holds me back with LeBron is that mental aspect of the game. It's something that's inside your chest that pumps. Makes you different than dudes. That's what made Kobe different. That's what made Mike different. That's what made those guys iconic.
The only thing I question with LeBron in that second three-peat is offensively on a team with no floor spacing, and he's not getting that much output from Scotty offensively. He's not getting as much as he used to.
He's getting 0 from Rodman offensively.
And Scotty in '98 was just not the same player.
So Dennis Rodman is basically Tristan Thompson. Okay, I'm cool with that. And then Scotty Pippen.
What is Scotty Pippen?
But the space around LeBron in like the 2018 team is different to what he'd have in like '98, which is, I guess, the biggest hesitancy you would have.
Yeah, because in '98 there's not enough floor spacing, not enough offense. Like it's just nothing that is conducive for LeBron to win. Ironically enough, the reason why they lost in 2011 had a lot to do with the flaws of LeBron. So and those flaws don't really exist with Jordan. Jordan would be able to just cook in the mid-range and not be able to be stagnant enough.
But
so the team isn't built for LeBron to like be hyper successful. He might be able to do it, but I don't.
The question is, can he? We've agreed that Jordan probably wins 3 with the Heat, if not 4.
11, 12, and 13.
Can LeBron do something he's never done, which is three-peat with a poorly spaced team that can't shoot built around him?
Why we keep saying poorly spaced? I mean, Steve Kerr was on that team too. I mean, Steve Kerr would have. What do you mean? Come on, let me make sure.
Ticket. I'm studying him too. Ticket.
Oh, no, he takes 3 shots a game.
I'm going off what you just said. You just said spacing. So, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, Steve Kerr is one of the better long ball shooters in the game. Was he not?
Ticket. I mean,
yes.
So I can't believe y'all sitting here telling me that Scottie Pippen and Tony Kukoc are no help.
And not only that,
specifically 98.
Right.
I don't care what year you talking about.
See, and that's the lie. That's that bullshit y'all be doing, bro.
Nobody's lying. Nobody's lying.
He had a bad back. He could barely play. He was not the same player. Just because this nigga Pippen on the back of his jersey does not mean he's the same player. He was not the same player.
Keep that same energy, Lo. Keep that same energy, Lo.
Bro, that's bullshit.
Hold on. We need to go back. We need to go back a second too, Lo, to calm Lo down. Did you just call Dennis Rodman Tristan Thompson?
Are you crazy? That's exactly what.
You just said he was giving him nothing.
I'm studying
giving him nothing offensively.
Right. So basically, that was what Tristan Thompson was doing. Is that correct?
Hey, Ticket. I'm studying him too, man.
Wait a minute. Whoa. Stop. Hang on. Let me make sure I'm not going crazy. I just heard you say Dennis Rodman gave them nothing.
It's giving him nothing offensively.
So stay offensively. So
I did.
No, you didn't. You said he was giving them nothing, Tone. That's first of all. Number two, what was Tristan Thompson giving them offensively?
Offensive rebounds?
Keep going, Lo. To my point, what is the difference between him and this dude offensively?
Offensive rebounds, I still favor Dennis Rodman. But outside of that, nothing. But the problem with it, even if you want to say Tony Kukoc and Steve Kerr, I guess those are the only two shooters on the entire team.
Wait. Tristan Thompson was giving him 8 a game. That's 3 times more than Rodman was giving him.
8 what?
Points.
Okay, we're okay.
So he was giving him more.
We're not about to argue the difference between 8 points and 4 points or something like that.
Which is exactly what we do.
He's giving him more. He's giving him something.
I mean, 8 points in 2018 versus 5 points.
The only 2 floor spaces on that team were Tony Kukoc and Steve Kerr. And Steve Kerr wasn't even starting. It's not a team that's built for LeBron. That's all I'm saying. It's just not. It's not a team to maximize who LeBron is as a player. It's not. And Pippen,
what's he gonna do? Pass it to Pippen, who's gonna refuse to take the last shot? You can't do that.
Pippen in '98 was not it. He just was not it, man.
Tone, you something else, B. Y'all dudes talk about trolling me. Y'all dudes talk about studying me. Y'all do just something else. Especially you, Tone. And Low right here. Low is basically the Don King. Low is the Don King of the whole thing. That's who Low is. And Ticket, you fall right into it. You fall right into it.
Hey, Ticket, I'm studying it with you, man.
Hey, I told you, hey, Low, you gotta study his style, man. I
gotta study that one, dog.
Look, Fluent, I be watching him and Fluent all the time, man. Fluent stay cooking this dude, bro. This dude don't get it. But I'm gonna say this, right? Hilltown loved LeBron James so much. He willing to gloss over all this dude flaws. He willing to gloss over, but he'll magnify anything that was wrong with Mike. He'll magnify that.
Never heard when LeBron No, I did not. No, that's a lie. That is a lie. You are not. You're not. You talking about me lying? You lying too? That is not true.
No,
that is not true.
LeBron would have been for all kind of trades back then, bro. He'd have been wanting to all around him. There's no way. There's no way.
I need to respond to this real quick. MJ never beat a team like the Spurs. He also never lost to a team like the Mavs. Get out of here. Next.
Oh wow.
And Mike would have swept the Mavs. Mike would have swept the Mavs that first year. They got swept.
Also, the team.
They got swept. Period.
Look, all we saying is that 98 is not enough floor spacing. It's not ideal for what's called it.
It's not a good fit. It's not a good fit.
It's just not a good fit at all.
So do you think LeBron wins 2 then instead of 3?
I think two for sure. The third one would be kind of shaky to me.
So out of 6 years, you might be out of 6 years.
There's the second three. The question was just the second free.
Hold on, you talking about?
I wouldn't argue.
That's what we talking about in their prime. In their prime.
No. Out of 3 years, no, he don't win none of them.
Okay, see now that's the other side of the spectrum. Now that's the other side.
I wouldn't argue if you say he wins 2 out of 3.
Lose to Seattle.
First of he wouldn't got past.
Maybe they split with Utah. Maybe they split with Utah.
Hold on, he wouldn't got past the Pacers. Wouldn't got past Utah in the finals. You think he gets past Utah in the finals both years?
No, I'm saying one of the years in 98. I'm saying either one of those. You think LeBron James could deal like that and got past Utah? I'm saying 98.
That's what he said. He loses in 98 to Utah.
I don't care what year you pick. You think he could got past Utah Jazz in the finals?
He just said no.
Oh, I just said in 98 he can. No. In 97, I believe he could beat Utah.
What?
Bro, that Utah. Yo, yeah.
All right. Next.
In 98, that Utah team was better.
I wouldn't argue with 2 out of 3. That's fine. I wouldn't argue with that.
Yeah. All right. The flip side with Hulk. Shout out to y'all boys. IF with all the different perspectives. This is like a comedy sports show. Great chemistry. That was for you, Marz, because you make us all laugh.
Team, boy. Y'all about to hear me, man. When is me and Chill gonna get on this Stockton thing, man? Come on,
we already got off it. We already been on it. We already did it. And
come on.
You are.
Hey, Elder looking for you, though. Elder been cooking on your ass. He looking for you on that.
Go on. Hey, why don't you jump on Ask Elder, another show on Players Choice, and you can have all the Stockton chat you want.
Low pull up on that show. Low will not pull up over there with Elder.
Oh, I didn't even know he had
C-Dub.
Me and Low, we already did this Stockton thing, and man, oh my goodness.
And I watched the game.
And it's interesting you mentioned that too, Low, because I watched the game, and I'm sitting here. I went back and watched that game. I went back and watched that game, Game 7 and Game 5. And to be honest with you, Lo, I'm sitting there and I got emotional. I was almost in tears watching that because you're going to make me defend this guy. You're going to make me defend a guy who the distributor that he was. So first, Lo, let's start the conversation with you telling us how it was basic, him just dropping the ball in too. Him just dropping.
You shouldn't even entertain this bullshit.
That's what I'm trying not to, Big.
Okay, so let's not, because we've got 40 super chats.
Okay,
C-Dub, moving forward, is LeBron longevity and excellence.
Them passes are trash. Those are trash passes.
Is LeBron's longevity?
Any top 20, 30 passer can make those passes.
Is LeBron longevity and excellence? Really, most guys can't make a basic pass anymore. I teach kids. I'm telling you, LeBron is longevity and excellence going to be the standard. Or the exception for the next generation. This is actually
Felton can make those passes.
LeBron can't be the standard. If LeBron's the standard, that's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
That's not the standard, bro.
Well, LeBron can be the exception. Everybody agrees with that one?
Yes, LeBron is for sure the exception.
Okay.
Definitely. No doubt.
Is there anyone who's going to have peak longevity like HGH? I mean, LeBron.
Hey,
bro, y'all are crazy. Old
boy just came out. John Morant just came out yesterday. You see what John Morant just said yesterday, Fluent? John Morant's tick. He said they gave him his 7th drug test of the year yesterday. We ain't heard about LeBron James getting one.
I will be doing an episode.
Hey, I
will be doing an episode.
I am not gonna lie. That is true. That is true.
I will be doing an episode on Sports Fluent.
No, that is true.
PEDs. We're going medical on that. Okay.
No, that is
Hall of Fame Mike. Let's talk about boys in Orlando. How underrated is Fultz in y'all opinion, and what do you see Paolo and Franz accomplishing in the next 5 years? And y'all best recognize Ron as the W host he is. That's why he's not here.
Markelle Fultz is underrated. Underrated compared to who? That's the first question.
Well, we all thought he was.
I think it's
he's busted out of that bust label.
Yeah,
right.
No, he's still a bust because he's
still a bust.
Pick.
Yeah,
he's a
the number one overall pick.
He's a quality NBA player, but he's a bust for what he was meant to be.
Hey, Fluent.
But he is better than people give him credit for.
Fluent. I got a lot of love for you. You just ran from that though. What I just said though.
I didn't hear what you said.
Oh, they gave John Morant 7 drug tests already this season. LeBron James ain't talking about one.
Oh no, we've already well established how I feel about that.
Is that a fact?
And I'm not supposed to. I'm supposed to. I'm not supposed to the new podcast I'm doing. So
why hasn't James been drug tested?
Great question.
Why hasn't he? If that's true, why hasn't he been drug tested?
Because at 38, putting up nearly 50 points.
Yeah.
They don't want to know the answer.
They can't.
Yeah, 50 points last night. He should have had the piss cup at his hotel room.
I mean, if I'm not mistaken, Donovan Mitchell was drug tested the next day after scoring 71. But this narrative that James is this is how stuff gets started. Not only this is how conspiracies get started, and not only is this how stuff gets started. This is how people end up in the penitentiary for stuff that they didn't do, because
hold on.
now becomes reality.
What? Right after the day,
that's exactly what happened.
The day after Donovan Mitchell's 71,
he has to go take a drug test.
He had to go take a test.
And LeBron just put up 48.
Right,
and he can't do that.
That's twice in a month, by the way, too, Lo. Not once.
So why can't he get a drug test?
I don't know why he has not gotten drug tested.
You know why?
And do we know why he?
We all know why.
And if he hasn't gotten drug tested,
they don't want to know.
They don't want to know.
And here's the thing, though. Let's just, even if this is true, Tone. So if this, let's say for the sake of argument,
want to know.
Wait a minute.
If I'm Adam Silver, I don't want to know.
I don't want to know why.
That is nuts right there. You know why? Because what happens when this actually comes out? That means that all credibility goes out the window. So why don't you want to know?
It's going to go out the window regardless.
By the time it comes out, the money's going to be spent.
Let me just say this. This isn't because people think it's because I hate LeBron. This isn't a LeBron thing. I'm telling you, I think a vast majority of people push the limit. That's all I'm going to say. But let's talk about something else, because we got a lot of super chats we got to get to. We celebrate, this is Z-Dub again. We celebrated when Kobe hit 30,000 points. Kobe even thought about scoring record because he tweeted, "Congratulations, LeBron, on passing him in scoring."
Right. I agree.
Cool. Leaf Diggy, you got something to say? Ain't nobody celebrating LeBron cherry picking career accomplishments. He's been cherry picking his whole career. Get him out of here.
He's been cherry picking his whole career.
Unbelievable.
The flip side,
he don't play no defense.
No one plays defense. Yo, Bobby, what high school did you go to? I'm from the Bay, but I grew up in Sac, Burbank, 3500. Hashtag.
Yeah, I'm with the Sac High. We was in the same league as Burbank.
All right, there you go. Flip side. Do you think you beat him? Your school beat him, or did you guys?
No, we used to beat their ass, but that's no disrespect to them though.
That's just fact. That's fact.
That's fine. That's
just fact. We used to serve them.
Sac High Dragons. We got, that's where the legends come from.
Yeah, we used to serve them.
From midnight, yo, what's up? Oh, what's everybody's favorite team?
I don't.
Do y'all still have favorite teams?
I do not.
I do. Yeah. Sadly, the Lakers.
It used to be the Warriors, but they're trash now. So
Warriors, Ox. Oh, Ox is the Kings, right?
Yeah, Sac Kings.
Ticket. Do you have a favorite team?
Yeah, I'm a Lakers guy, but Lowe said something nasty at the beginning too. Marz just said Warriors, but Lowe said something. Y'all saying something about scoring and how it was easy. Lowe said that bull-ish because he know I was getting ready to cook his ass today on that sorry ass Jordan Poole take him and Chilltown had. Jordan Poole out here killing, out here dropping 30 on dudes biscuit, and y'all sitting over here talking about he ain't playing at no all-star level. Y'all dudes is on something.
You said superstar.
Whoa, that's what you said. Hold. Make sure you get it.
That is that
superstar.
Do you see what he's doing? Hold on, clutch shots, dancing on dudes like Curry did. But see, dog, this is the only problem I got with y'all. Y'all don't want to accept the early mistakes he's making early in his career. Because let's be honest, Jordan Poole's having a better start to his career than Steph Curry did. I got myself
He was not even close in the same situation. Steph Curry didn't get on a championship team in his
Hold on, a nonsense. But listen, right. Hold on, but Chilltown.
No, Chilltown.
That's my point. That's my point.
The luxury of having coming into the league and play behind Steph Curry.
Chilltown. That's my Chilltown. My point to you was this: when he came into the league, the Golden State Warriors was losing when he was getting minutes. They were getting the hell beat out of them. They weren't the same Warriors they are today. Right now, it was in a down time. Steph Curry was leading the league in scoring, but they didn't even make the playoffs. So when he came in, he didn't come into a team that was winning 10 championships in a row. He didn't do that. He came into a team that was on a downtime after KD left. Cut it out.
So if that's true,
and he didn't look very good in those downtimes.
And what do he look like right now? Sucker 3 years in. What do he look like?
So then what's that going to do with
What do he look like right now?
Wait. Let's be clear. Let's be clear for a second. 4 years in, Curry's averaging more points in his fourth year. Curry's averaging more assists in his fourth year. Curry's averaging more steals in his fourth year. Curry's averaging more rebounds in his fourth year. Curry's shooting better from the field in his fourth year. Curry's shooting better from behind the arc in his fourth year. Curry's shooting better from the free throw line in his fourth year. Curry has fewer turnovers as well in his fourth year.
Well,
literally every statistical category is better.
Jordan Poole at the NBA free throw shooting last year. So that's we're gonna do that. We're gonna take away from that.
Curry let the NBA free throw shooting in his sophomore year. So what are you saying?
Hold on, but low. He's low. But here's why you hold on. Here's why you nasty. Here's why you
go ahead, low.
Here's why you nasty. Because in year four, Steph Curry was the guy. Now Jordan Poole has to play behind him, so he ain't getting them same cuts and looks that Curry got. But guess what? When Curry didn't play, what Jordan Poole averaging? Now put that in your pipe and smoke it.
No, Jordan. Wait, just real quick. Jordan Poole in his fourth year is averaging 16 shot attempts. Curry was averaging 17 to 18.
No, I'm saying
Curry's playing in a much more defensive oriented era on a slower paced team as well.
That's a lie.
So stop. Then right now?
No. I'm saying that wasn't much more. It was a little bit. It ain't much more. Cut it out, man.
I said much more. I said more. I just said more.
Hold on. All I'm saying was this, low. In a leading role.
Wrong.
Hold on 1 second.
Go ahead. In a leading role, take it. In a leading role, go ahead.
When Curry's out in a leading role, the man is averaging 28.5 points.
He's
around what?
In a leading role. That's not true. Ticket. He's not in a leading role. You know who he is right now? You know who
I'm saying when Curry's.
You keep saying when Curry is out. The fact
he's
that he's there.
Who's the man when Curry's out?
No.
Who's the man when Curry's out?
The fact that he's there makes your point moot, which means that
who's the man when Curry's out?
He's not the man when Curry is out. No, he is not.
We the drug test you right now for saying that.
Hold on, Ticket. So when Curry is out, who is the number one scoring option on the Warriors?
Poole.
I don't know. It might either Poole or
put that drug test on his ass right now.
Klay makes himself the number one.
Klay makes himself the number one. Andrew
Klay
Wiggins
makes himself the number one.
Andrew
Wiggins
was hurt while Steph was out. So.
What dude you know average 28 as a lead guy and gets criticized and ripped down as more than what they do to Jordan Poole on this channel right here?
You just sat there and said he was better. You just sat there and said he was better than Curry.
I think when you say he's better than Curry,
that's
that's different than
yes, you did.
I don't know what you said. I wasn't there to hear that. But
he said he had a better start to his career.
We're gonna get back to the super chats. I will, like I said, want to know more since you guys are throwing out the word steroids. No one has ever suggested LeBron James takes steroids. That shows how little you know about PEDs. So you should definitely tune into my special. You will learn something. All right, moving on.
One thing. I got one question for you. Just one question. It's crazy. I'm gonna ask you this question right now. If Jordan Poole is a lead guy, how much you think he averaged on his team this season?
If he's a lead guy?
How's Steph Curry? How much you think Jordan Poole averages this season?
Probably what he's averaging. What is he averaging? 28?
He's averaging
21.
He's averaging 21, but Curry's out 28.
When Curry's out, I think he averages at 27, 28.
Yeah, somewhere in there. Yeah, that makes sense.
But how many games do they win?
Does
that matter anymore, Ox? Do people even care?
He played 11 games without Curry, and I think they went 5-6 or 6-5, 1-2, 6-5.
That's not bad.
So the logic.
I'm not saying it's bad.
So who is? Once again, I keep asking the question: who is Jordan Poole? That's the question. Is Jordan Poole Bradley Beal good?
I just asked Fluent. Fluent. Without Steph Curry, what do you think Jordan Poole's putting up?
Once again. We're talking about we ain't taking Steph Curry off the crew. We ain't taking Steph Curry off the crew for a couple of months. Steph Curry is completely off the crew. Now Jordan Poole is the man on that crew. Not just this season, moving forward. Who is Jordan Poole? Is he Bradley Beal good?
No, because
is he Donovan Mitchell good? I'm not done. Is he Donovan Mitchell good?
Fluent.
I'm asking you a question, Ticket. Is he Donovan Mitchell?
Hold on. Fluent. I mean, chill. He's only in year 4. Remember, we got to remember, Steph Curry wasn't no all-world doing no all-world shit.
He made the All-NBA team in year 4, Red.
I just read you off the number.
Hold on.
He made the All-NBA team in year 4. I think it was year 5.
All I'm saying is, is that the team was showing progress when he was the man since he was taking over. So what I'm saying is, if you put him in that role full time, now he gets all those looks he was getting. He gets that on a regular basis the entire season. You know what that allows him to do? That allows him to fine-tune his game and go through the same bruises and bumps that Curry went through early in his career. Because these dudes like to point out his turnovers, but they don't point out
next week we can do a deep Poole versus Curry debate. Here we go. We got a bunch of super chats. Midnight. Yo. We already talked about that. What's your favorite teams? Okay, mine's Lakers and my hometown Raptors, just for the record, because you guys cut me off before I could answer. Sigh. Ball Sack Sports made that Genie tweet. So they're suggesting that tweet is fake. So we need proof on that tweet. Gabriel Santos. Where do you rank Carmelo all-time player with no chips?
I think he's a top 75 player, but I think he's on the other side of that top 75.
I think he's saying what the players who don't have a championship. Where do you rank him?
Where do you rank Carmelo Anthony all-time
players with no chips?
All-time players with no chips.
So like you got Elgin Baylor 1, probably you have Malone, Barkley, Iverson. Where do you rank Carmelo?
Westbrook, Ewing.
He's like top 15.
Top 10, top 15.
Off the top of my head, I'd say top 15.
All right.
That's fair.
All right. Z-Dub. I don't know what that word is. This fact that Ticket doesn't know the personnel in Laker organization is why I question his reporting. LeBron untradeable. They can't touch him. That is untrue. Everybody is tradable. Period. End of discussion. Don't ever say anyone's untradeable. So we'll move on from that.
He doesn't have a no trade clause either. So
he does not. Tradable. Now they might again. They're not going to trade their golden goose, but they could if they really wanted to. Yeah. Mo Dog. Do you guys think Gobert and Murray swap would benefit the Wolves Hawks, depending on if they make other deals to get rid of D'Lo, Capella, etc.? So Rudy Gobert for Trae for
Murray
for
DeJounte
Murray and Capella.
Oh, they already got too many dudes. No, they got Capella. They still got Collins. They got to get
throw Capella. No, throw Capella in the trade. Throw Murray.
Yeah, it would be Murray and Capella for Gobert.
Does that make sense?
Oh, Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert only makes people better in low mind and low and his little protege over there in the corner. That's the only dude that makes the other dude that he makes a team better. That dude is one of the most overrated defensive players in the history of the NBA, man.
I thought it was a terrible trade when it happened. I don't know what you're talking about. I thought that was the worst trade I've seen.
You was arguing me about the dude saying that I was underrating him and all this other shit, and he was
as a defender. But I never said he made his teammates better. I just think that trade was horrible when it happened. I was very clear on that.
I disagree with that, Ticket, because the trade, it's not that Gobert is weak. It's just that Danny Ainge is dope. Like nobody was supposed to get that much from Rudy Gobert. You know what I'm saying? Rudy Gobert can definitely make a team better.
You don't have a problem with that. You don't have a problem with that trade if Rudy Gobert ends up in Minnesota for a one.
I have a problem with that trade because you messed up the chemistry.
A 1 and a second round pick. You don't have a problem with that trade.
If Minnesota keeps Jared Vanderbilt and two of those picks, that's a solid trade.
Oh, I like Vanderbilt.
I like Vanderbilt as well.
He should be on the truck.
I'm not going to say that that word. So if Kobe wins more of the Western Conference Finals MVPs with Shaq, was he better throughout the playoff run in totality? I agree with Marz from PC. He wins 02, 03, 04.
I'm assuming he's saying I'm assuming he's saying if there was a Western Conference Finals award back then and they were MVPs, how many would Kobe win?
And we did this on the main show. I said I think 01, 02, 04 he wins. That's where
you did it on this show.
The show on
this is the main show.
Okay.
The one that's just good plays, Trace.
He doesn't win it in 03 because San Antonio won.
Yeah, they weren't in it.
So he doesn't win it in 03. In 04, I definitely think that he wins it. No doubt about that. In 02, I mean, we can have a conversation about that.
The refs win that one.
We can have a conversation.
I also made the same joke, but it's just fine.
We can have a conversation about 02, but definitely in 04, I think he wins the Western Conference MVP. No doubt about that.
All right, he corrected himself. He made a mistake. He meant 01. So I guess that's
01
or 02. You still think Shaq's better.
In 01, we can have a conversation about that too. Because, again,
no. I'm saying all time. I'm saying all time. You got Shaq over Kobe, and Fluent got Kobe over Shaq.
That's correct.
Okay. Correct.
Well, we know that Fluent. I mean, OG got Kobe outside
of the top 10. Ridiculous. The best. All right. Dre go crazy. The best of the best scorers all have a mid-range game for a reason. Love the pod.
Thanks, brother.
Right.
About that.
Depends on your criteria of scoring. Because Shaq to me is one of the best scorers ever, and he ain't got mid-range.
Yeah, he don't have mid-range.
Kyrie is top 75. Yes or no?
No.
Talent.
No.
Top 75 talent, yes. But tops, no.
No.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Is Rodman a role player?
That's not fair because we do that because his game's played. We do that because his game's played. If we did that with AD wouldn't be there. If we did that with
should though.
Huh?
Yeah,
I don't think he should. I don't think AD should have been there either. I don't think he should have been.
Yeah, AD didn't deserve it.
Yeah,
I told you I don't like ranking players that are still playing. Yeah, I don't like doing that.
You would have to be like a Shaq level start of a career to justify somebody putting him in the top 75 like that. That was crazy. That was absurd.
I think winning was factored in, which is why they put Anthony Davis in. Because if you're not factoring winning in, there's no way that Anthony Davis goes in before
too soon, right?
Before Dwight Howard. No way.
Yeah, that was
no way.
Is Rodman a role player?
Yes, I don't Rodman. Think so. I think Rodman is a role player.
Yeah, I think
absolutely.
Is a role player?
Let me ask you a question.
I don't think being a role player is disrespectful. I think you could be like the second best player on the team and still be a role player.
Everybody is a role player. But
is it superstar, star, and then everybody else is role players?
No.
I guess.
What do you think a role player is? I'm sorry, go ahead.
Superstars playing one side of basketball offense. So I think there should be defensive superstars too. I think Rodman was a defensive superstar. Mutombo was a defensive superstar. Ben Wallace was a defensive superstar. Guys like those guys are superstars on the defensive side of the basketball. Alonzo Mourning was a defensive superstar.
Right.
So, Draymond Green was a defensive superstar.
No, he didn't dominate.
A guy like Rodman, I guess the question is, can you put a guy like Rodman who leads the league in rebounds, was the player of the year, was top 10 in MVP voting, is all-team first NBA defense every year? Is he? Even if he is a superstar defensively, because what he brings, he's still playing a role. I'm the defender on the team. That's my role. So as a role player, so is KD a role player because he's the scorer on the team? KD's what is KD's role? Everybody's a role player because he was the scorer on the team. I'm just asking. Say that one more time.
Everyone's a role player.
Everybody has a role. What is your role? I'm the guy. What is your role?
KD's role is what?
KD's role is he's the bucket getter. That's who KD is.
Okay, so
the question applies to anyone. Is Michael Jordan a role player? Yes. Is Steph Curry a role player? Yes. Okay.
What?
No, that's not
Are you sure you guys want to go down that road?
Hey, when you had the ability to control a game, you're a different type of player. Dennis Rodman could control a game on one side of the basketball. Exactly. So could guys like Dikembe Mutombo. So could guys like Big Ben Wallace. So could guys like Alonzo Mourning. Those guys.
Draymond Green.
Draymond Green. Bro, he did not. He did not. Lo, I hate you for that, bro. I swear to God, I hate you for that shit, man. You and Marz, y'all dudes is fab with this Draymond Green stuff, man.
He can't control the game defensively, though. He can't.
Draymond is so hype, bro. Draymond is so hype.
He can't control the game defensively.
You guys have watered down the Hall of Fame and all-time great player talk, bro. Bro, when we talk about all-time greats, bro, you don't get to run around here averaging 6, 7, and 5 or 7 and say I'm an all-time great. No, sorry, dog. You have to be elite at something. I'm talking about you have to have years. You let the lead, and you have to let you dominate the lead.
Elite at defense means you have to dominate rebounds.
All right,
he's never dominated. He's never dominated rebounds.
I'm the stat guy.
If Marz thinks Steph Curry is a role player, then to answer the question in the chat, yes, Rodman is definitely a role player. Next,
do you believe that, Marz?
The smoking Knicks. That's what he said. He said it. I thought y'all were talking Knicks today. We did, and for too long.
We spent about 5 minutes.
Who y'all think should be? Who y'all think shouldn't be in the NBA Hall of Fame?
Draymond Green.
It's not the NBA Hall of Fame.
No, I think he means Basketball Hall of Fame because there is no NBA Hall of Fame. So who do you think is undeserving of being currently who is in the Basketball Hall of Fame?
Bill Walton.
Anyone name that sticks out?
Who?
Bill Walton.
Bill Walton's a Hall of Famer to me.
Yes, he is.
No, I'm sorry. Too many injuries. Too many injuries. Too much missed time. Not enough. Not enough production.
Well, number one, I think it should be split up like it's the Pro Baseball Hall of Fame. There's the College Football Hall of Fame. There's the Pro Football Hall of Fame. There's the Pro Baseball Hall of Fame. There's the College Basketball Hall of Fame. Why isn't there a Pro Basketball Hall of Fame? Why isn't that?
I'm working on it. I just need funding. And Bill Bradley will not be in it. All right, here we go. Double P. Where does Draymond Green rank? Hey, perfect. Right for you, Lo. Where does Draymond Green rank all time as a power forward? Is he top 15? If he is top 15,
he doesn't rank. He's not ranked. He's not ranked.
It might be a little higher.
You can name 15 power forwards today. That's better than
him. He might be a little higher than top 15.
He might be top 30. He might be top 30.
No, he's top 15 for sure.
I'm
gonna make a whole hour video cooking your ass, Lo. Stop that.
So you have Kevin McHale is above Draymond Green.
Yeah,
right?
Kevin McHale.
That's not even a conversation.
Pau Gasol, Tim Duncan, Dirk, KG, Carmelo,
Chris Webber. Keep going.
Charles Barkley.
Antonio McDyess. Keep going. Sean Kemp. Keep going.
Giannis.
You don't got me.
Giannis.
Pau Gasol.
Bob Pettit.
Hakeem Warwick.
James Worthy.
No.
Worthy's
a power forward. James Worthy's a free, isn't he?
James Worthy played the 4.
Sean Kemp. Chris Bosh. Jermaine O'Neal. Who else?
Antonio McDyess. What's going on, man?
Hold on for a second, Ticket.
Yeah, Zach Randolph.
Lo, are you really going to sit there and tell me that Draymond Green was a better player than Sean Kemp? Is that what you're going to tell me?
No. You said James Worthy was a 4.
Yeah, I didn't know James Worthy.
I thought James Worthy was a power forward.
I'm 100% confident James Worthy played the 4. Magic got the 1. Byron Scott at the 2. Michael Cooper at the 3, James Worthy at the 4, Jabbar at the 5.
Michael Cooper came off the bench, didn't he?
He started for
a while, but
But he wasn't starting when.
Don't forget Amari Stoudemire.
I'll take that back. James Worthy did play the 3. James Worthy played. When James Worthy got there, I take that back. It's my fault. James Worthy played the 3, and who am I thinking about? Bob McAdoo played the 4, and then when Bob McAdoo left, they drafted AC Green, and then AC Green played the 4. That's correct. And James Worthy played the 3. James Worthy did not play the 4.
Shout out to AC Green, Iron Man of the NBA.
Yeah, James Worthy did play the 4.
So the question is he top 15?
I could have sworn Kurt Rambis. Yes,
Kirk Rambis played the 4 too. I'm sorry. That's correct.
It was he is top 15 in my opinion. But I
thought you have guys go better.
He ain't better than Anthony Mason.
Hey, Ticket, stop saying y'all. Hey, Ticket, stop saying y'all. Ticket. When you talk about these dudes, call them out because when you and me go at it, you call me out. There's no way that you let me off the head.
Low and Marz.
I didn't give my opinion on this. Why?
I know Marz. Do you think?
I didn't say anything.
Hey, Tick, Marz. Do you think
is whatever Lowe's opinion is? Whatever Lowe day you say.
No, take it. Let's hear him out. Let's hear him out. Marz, you think he's top 15?
I don't.
What I told
you. I don't know.
Oh, I don't. Okay, we're going back to the super chat, but for the record, Lowe named 15 others, so you don't think he's top 15 either. You're lying.
I never named
Web Slinger.
The players that they were naming, I did not agree.
What are your
give me Louis Scola too more low.
Oh, absolutely.
What are y'all's thoughts? What are y'all's honest thoughts? So don't lie, Lo. Honest thoughts on how good MJ would be today. Casuals say he'd be DeMar DeRozan, but ignore that he's been balling since he went to Chicago. Kobe was also a near carbon copy of MJ and average a consistent 25.
May I?
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
May I? Okay, so before I even tell you what he would be today, let's dead this DeMar DeRozan thing. And the reason why we're going to dead this DeMar DeRozan thing is because, if I'm not mistaken, Kobe Bryant is the closest thing to Jordan. Is that correct? So if Kobe Bryant is the closest thing to Jordan, that means that DeMar DeRozan is as good as Kobe Bryant, and there's nobody who would ever say that. So let's dead that DeMar DeRozan logic right now. Okay,
can I tell you who it would be in one line? In one line, Michael Jordan would be DeMar DeRozan if he had John Morant athleticism and elite defense. That's sure.
I'm playoff translation.
So that deads that. There's no reason for me to think that today Michael Jordan wouldn't be able to do the same thing that he did 30 years ago. There's no reason for me to believe that he wouldn't be able to do that. None.
Okay,
he would be doing the same thing
question
today.
is, how many points would Jordan average in today's game?
I think he puts up prime James Harden numbers. That's why I think he puts
up. Like 30 to 35 a game. That wouldn't surprise me at all.
How many?
I think two things. I think Jordan probably, if he was born, because he would probably incorporate a 3-point shot into his game because he was playing in this era. So yes, probably 35, 36 a night. But I think more importantly, he averages what he needs to win. Because at the end of the day, we all throw out all this other shit. Michael Jordan was only concerned with winning. That was his number one concern when he got to that point in his career, not the early days.
The league on a bad team, he'd have been averaging 40 because it took that for him to win games.
Sure. So that's what he wanted.
When he came into the league, cracking dudes. It was even the year he got up to 36 then. So you tell me without the physical contact, without the head checks, without the lane being clogged up, with the lane being wide open, with dudes not being able to touch him, with him being able to live on the free throw line, you gonna tell me he can average 40? Like the great Jeff Van Gundy said, man would have averaged 40. You could bet your bottom dollar on that. He would have averaged 40.
I think there's actually a handful.
And The Rock means ever put him in the same category with James Harden. Anything James Harden could do, Mike could do 100 times better, and that's facts.
There's a few people that could average 40 or 40 plus points a game, but it doesn't mean they win. And so they will sacrifice those few points to win. And Jordan is one of them. Could he come into this league and average 40? Yes. Could LeBron average 40? I think yes. But for the betterment of their team, they don't. Go ahead,
Oz. But he does on those teams. I mean, on the same team as Luka's on right now, he does. Because Luka has to score 35 for them to win. So Mike can score 40 on that team for them to win.
But what I'm saying is
40 a game.
The question is realistic. The question is realistic.
In this era when dudes getting 50 every night, cut it out. Y'all act like it's bro. In this era, it's so easy to score the ball. You see a 140-point game.
I ain't saying that. I'm just thinking to myself, we got a dude running around in the NBA today that's averaging 41 a game. What? That is mind blowing.
No contact. Add a three ball. Going to the free throw line. As much as they call fouls now for every little thing, and you couldn't touch him going down the lane. This dude was putting up almost 38 points a game with contact with dudes closing the lane, body slamming you, sending you to the line, not letting you shut up. Cut it out.
Hold on, and let's remember this one important thing. This is for the kids because they'll call me crazy. They know you're a LeBron guy, so I'm going to ask this of Chill. The zone defense that everyone's so worried about. What is a killer to a zone defense? What type of shot?
Long ball.
I know, but hold on. Because that's what all these kids will say. The zone defense is a mid-range. Doesn't that not kill every zone?
Yes, because it shrinks it.
And who is better at doing that than
Jay kills the
yes,
zone.
And to Lowe's point, you're right. They only play zone 4% of the time, and they average one more point per game. I get it. I get it. I'm just saying for those that want to bring that point up. Okay.
People who say that they just learned that illegal defense was a thing. And they're like, oh man, I'm about to really
illegal defense. That was called.
That's literally all they do.
2.7.
That's legal defense. We got it.
Yeah, that's all. That's the only reason why they make that argument. They have no idea what illegal defense is.
More super chats. I would try to get as many as I can.
He would average 40. He would average 40 into this game.
We already did this one.
We already did this one. Thank you.
I agree with Ticker. He's averaging 40.
Jay Poole over Russ for Sixth Man of the Year.
I think it's Bobby Portis. I think he's the best rotation player in the game. He's averaging a double off the bench.
It has to be Russ. Russ leading the league in assists coming off the bench. He's leading. Russ is averaging the same thing as Portis. Plus, he's a leader in assists. He accounts for so many of the other dudes what they doing on the Lakers as far as the Lakers just can't close games, man. That's all it is. Right. Don't look at all the games they've been losing. Every game's been close.
I get with that logic, but the difference is, like you just said, Russ is leading the league in assists off the bench. Bobby Portis is leading the league in rebounds off the bench. He's averaging a double off the bench. Nobody else in the league is doing that. Nobody. And he is integral to what that team is. He's integral to what they're doing in Milwaukee. They're not winning without him coming off the bench. I think he's the best rotation player.
That's where I'm at with it. You got to look at the record too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think Bobby
record matters in Six Man of the Year award. Has it ever mattered in Six Man? Okay, a tribe. My favorite group, a tribe called Len. I thought it was Quest. Are Low and Chill gonna address Low's John Stockton TikTok on his 2020 game on Magic?
I don't think we
touched
are,
on it a little bit.
I was about to get into it.
Low, can you?
Bob talked me off the ledge.
Low, can you come on Fluent and Chill on Thursday to have that discussion?
If y'all will have me.
All right. Low will be on Fluent and Chill Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern. We will talk about Stockton.
I might honestly hop on stream right now and just continue to expose.
I will mediate. Christopher D. If the Raptors trade DeRozan for Paul George, does he take that team to a championship in 2019? I guess that's in reference to Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, they go to the finals, and if KD's not if KD is hurt and Klay is hurt, Paul George at that time, because we got to think about one thing. At that time, Paul George was still believe he was the man. Paul George, in my opinion, went through mental and
psychological. Look at that Milwaukee series, Tiki.
I don't even know if they beat. I don't even know if they beat
Philly. Paul George went through psychological things after he got hurt that kind of jacked up his career and took him from thinking he was that number one guy. Like, he went through the stuff with Doc's daughter, all that stuff took a toll on him. You know what I'm saying? Like, mentally. So he wasn't the same dude. But I believe that if he never would have joined Kawhi and kept that mentality as he was the number one guy, because remember, even when he went to play with Russ, he was a number one guy over there. He was one of the MVPs.
But Ticket, how did they?
Say that again, Low. Hold on, say that again.
And couldn't get out the first round. So how was he going to pass?
Hold on.
Milwaukee. How did they win that Milwaukee series?
They don't get out of Milwaukee.
Low, you're nasty because he had torn both shoulders that year. He had torn both shoulders and still averaged 28 in the finals. It was Russ that was getting destroyed by Dame Dollar. Tell the truth.
In the finals?
Yeah, against the Blazers.
I'm talking about the West. I'm talking about the West when he went over to OKC.
That was in
the first round.
That was in 18.
No, that's what I'm saying. No,
18 against the Jazz.
No, I said when he went over there.
18. Hold on, just quick. So, Ticket, you say yes, they make it to the final, but don't win the championship.
Oh, I said if Durant and Klay Thompson can get hurt, I still think Paul George can get it done. Remember, Kawhi didn't do nothing in the fourth quarter. Kawhi did not score in the fourth quarter, game 6. Fred VanVleet called that goal.
Chill. I got 40 super chats. Chill. Do they make it to the winning chip?
No.
With Paul George instead of Kawhi? No. Marz?
No.
Ox?
No, they don't make it to the championship.
They don't even make it to the finals.
They don't beat Milwaukee. They don't beat Milwaukee without.
They don't beat Milwaukee nor.
All right, you're all wrong. Even if they kept DeMar DeRozan, they win the chip that year. All right, next.
You're nasty.
Better sixth man.
And I know you don't believe that either.
Jamal Crawford. I love being host. I get the last word. Better sixth man, Jamal Crawford or Lou Williams?
I got
quickly.
Jay crossover.
Lou Williams.
Anybody got Lou Williams over Jamal?
I got Lou Williams.
I got Lou Williams.
You're the tiebreaker.
Lou Williams is the only dude legally walking around the NBA with 2 chicks. So yeah, I got Lou Williams.
That's a Ticket. That's going on too. Like Ticket ain't trying to be funny. That's going on. That's going on. That's happening.
This man sacrificed a championship to go to the strip joint and get a lemon pepper wing stop. Man, come on, man.
Lemon pepper. He went lemon. That's what they call it.
Lemon pepper is delicious. All right. Usually I disagree with Ticket, but PG was top 5 MVP DPOY candidate in the same year.
That's facts. They don't talk about that.
Wasn't Kawhi in 2017?
Yep.
No, but I was saying to y'all that it was close. Y'all was saying it wasn't close. Y'all was saying the defense wasn't close. I'm saying it was closer than what y'all thought. Look at me, all these teams Paul George made. They cut it out, bro. They was calling Paul George one of the best two-way players in the game. Am I lying?
And people are calling Kawhi the best perimeter defender of all time. And people calling Kawhi the best perimeter defender of all time.
Hold on, Pamper. I'm talking about before you heard about Kawhi, they were talking about Paul George as being one of the top two-way players in the game. Am I lying, Fluent? When he was going to the Eastern Conference Finals against LeBron.
I still think there's a gap between his defense from Kawhi.
I want to be clear. I'm sorry. 24 Ticket. Who you taking? 2014 PG or 2017 Kawhi?
Man, I'm thinking PG went to war with LeBron, D Wade, and what they call it, took him 7 games.
No way.
He took a super big, bro.
Okay.
That's all I need to know. He almost went to the finals. He almost won that series, bro. And he outplayed LeBron. He outplayed LeBron that series.
He got PG over part-time Kawhi. Now I'm curious, when it comes to stats, which one do y'all value the most? Peak individual games, overall totals, or averages? This is for any stat, by the way.
I'm gonna let OG take this one first because I need
I choose winning. I don't choose stats. I choose winning because it's called basketball, not basketball.
So if I average 20 a game and I win more games than you averaging 30, I'm a better player than you.
It means more to me. I don't know who's better. It just means more. Like, I don't care how much you average if you lost.
All right, Marz.
You don't care how much Chris Webber average if he lost.
I don't care. I don't give a damn about Chris Webber if he loses.
Wow, I love that.
If I had to pick one of these,
peak individual games. Okay, well, first of all, a peak individual game, overall totals or averages. I don't know.
It's averages.
I don't know if I understand this question because if I think about it,
when you think of a player like Klay Thompson, for example, do you think of the 37 and a quarter? That's where
I was going with this.
That's 20 points a game averages or the total.
Right, because if a guy goes for 55 in a game, but then for the rest of the series he's 17. I mean, that doesn't really hold a lot of weight, right? And overall totals. You know, if a guy,
we've already established that's not important,
right? So overall totals, if a guy scores a lot of points and it generated into his team winning, like Hakeem Olajuwon in 1994 and 95, where he both set the record and then broke the record again for the most points in playoff history, that matters. And then averages, that also matters because that means I'm doing it on a consistent basis and we win it.
What matters more though?
All right, I'm just gonna keep firing off super chats until all of you guys drop off. Average, I think, is the consensus. So ticket, Alex, this for you, Alex English, off the top 75. Is that a huge snub?
I mean, he was a bucket getter. He could have been there. I would have put him over there over Bill Walton. I just think Bill Walton got handouts.
Yep,
he was great, but he got handouts because he didn't have a great NBA career, bro.
I agree with you. Armis Jones, Paul George is flashier, more aesthetically pleasing player, not a better offensive player than Kawhi. Kawhi is more technical. All right, we've talked enough about it.
So why do you average all-time more points than Kawhi?
We've talked enough about Kawhi and Paul George. Christy, PG got locked up by D Wade, a bum knee, Joe English on the side of the backboard. Okay, fine.
Hey, Fluent, just give 2 seconds. Kawhi averaged 19 for his career, Fluent. If Kawhi is his great all-time score, why he averaged 19 for his career? He don't even have 20.
He started off slower.
It's much like ticket. Let me give you an example. It's much like Kobe. When you look at Kobe's average, a lot of it has to do with the fact that the first few years they didn't give him the opportunity to play enough.
There you go.
Enough.
There you go.
It ruins his career average because of that.
There you go.
You nasty, Fluent, man. You nasty.
Nasty. That's
answered your question.
So Kobe somehow got up to 25 a game, but Kawhi can't even get over 20. Cut the crap.
Because he played 20 years.
The Hawks' son owner took over basketball operations at 27. Yes, we talked enough about the Hawks. We did that. Trae not good to have that type of pull. Is Trae not good enough?
So he is.
I don't think there's any players who are that good to have this of a franchise.
To have a 27-year-old run the league, I mean the front office, no, there's no such thing as having that type of pool. That's crazy.
All right, so we agree that people in their 20s shouldn't be talking basketball. All right, next.
We're not leading a front office.
Ron,
you know what? I agree with you. Yeah, I agree.
You're 30 now. I'm 30. Ron's still talking. Ron's still taking Trae over Luka. L host. Nathaniel, all this McMillan defense, but we aren't evaluating his terrible game time management this season. Discipline doesn't cancel out bad coaching. Is that true?
That's not true.
It's hard to assess it when, again, the team or part of the team isn't abiding by what you have them to do. A and B, it's not even the case that we believe that Nick McMillan is a perfect coach. I'm pretty sure he has his flaws. It's just the fact that once more, it's really hard to coach a team when everybody isn't on the same page, and people are following what they see from
particularly your lead guard and your primary ball handler.
Yeah.
Leaf Diggy blames Bobby Knight for what coaches go through today. Is it Bobby Knight's fault?
No, they should have more Bobby Knight whooping these dudes' ass.
It's capitalism's fault.
Capitalism's fault. You're right. It's too much money. Where do Steph and Klay rank as an all-time duo? I'm going to go with the Warriors fan.
They're the third best duo in Golden State's tenure.
They're the third best in Golden State's history only? What about in the NBA?
Tenure.
In the 7 years of Golden State's dynasty, they're the third best duo of that. So of all time, I don't know,
Because you got
20.
Oh, because you got Steph and KD, and then who else?
So you have them 20th all time in
they're
duo?
top 20. They're top. If I had to,
20?
if I had to give a number, I'd say top 20.
It might be lower than that.
It probably is, but I'm gonna say top 20.
And Klay holds him back.
Does anybody have them higher, like top 10?
I do. I think they're around top 15, probably all time. I can't tell you.
Not as players.
How do you have Stockton and Malone? You just cared about winning and losing.
I'm saying they're winning. They're winning.
It's so easy to pack you low. Calm down.
I'm just saying that's what you just said, like literally 20 minutes ago. You just said that.
Your blood pressure gonna go up. I could say anything.
Nah, you just literally said
winning. I know what I said, but
Kenny McCoy. I need to be on this panel with the old guys. Salute.
Okay, first of all,
what does that mean?
You guys are about to get to that. Okay, first of all, I'm not old. I'm just not as young. I'm not old. I'm just not as young as I used to be. I'm not old. Okay, let's get to the bottom of that right now.
That's a fancy way of saying it. That's a fancy way of saying it.
I can still do a lot of
fancy way of saying it.
I am not old. I'm just not as young as I used to be. Let's get to the bottom of that right now.
I am old, and I still know more, and probably will beat any one of the younger guys on this panel in 101.
You probably would.
I know.
Yeah, I hope so.
You being Dub?
Left-handed. All right, Tyrone Young. Bron drastically a sweep, just like every other time. Bron drastically changed after 2011. That's not his prime.
What do you mean? I think it's part of his prime because for me, his prime starts 2009.
I'm gonna say his prime
that's
was 09.
His prime, but
prime is 09.
I think it started in 09 and it ended like.
I was thinking like 08.
19 in my opinion.
So he had that finals in his prime. That 20.
He did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do think that's part of his prime. But when I had to pick the 3 years for the Scotty and Rodman time.
Wait, how do you figure?
You got OG on record.
Wait, how do you figure 2011? That's year 9. What is that? Year 8? Who's not in their prime in year 8?
Yeah, for sure. Ticket, you got this, right? You got him.
He's absolutely in his prime. No doubt about that. Who's not in his prime in year 8? He's definitely in his prime.
Hey, Ticket, you got him.
Yeah, I mean, we already know what's up, man. You do say anything.
234. That's a timestamp. 234.
Yeah, man. I mean, bro, it's buffoonery going on around here, man.
Wait a minute. What did I say something wrong?
I just want you. You're just on record saying that 2011 happened in LeBron's prime. I just want him to have that.
Anybody knows that. Once again.
Well, then how come when we talked about the Bulls, I said he wouldn't have a 2011 meltdown? You all said, well, that's not his prime.
That's not I didn't say that.
Because the reason I said that is because Scotty and Rodman with MJ were 3 years. So if I had to pick 3 years of LeBron, 2011 wouldn't be in those 3 years. Of
course, if you could pick, you're never gonna know it's gonna pick.
No one's picking 2011.
Well, yeah, but if I had to pick 3 years, 2011 wouldn't be there, even though I think it's his prime. But
I know what Marz means. Y'all know what Marz means. Marz need to go over there with Elder and let Elder take off that belt on it, take him behind the shed somewhere for a few seconds.
What in the world is going
on? Hey, I can't see. Is there a good poll going on right now? Do you guys have access to that?
You're up 70. You're up 70-30 1-on-1 against Dub.
All right. 1-on-1 against Dub, 70-30. The other 30 are dumb. All right, next. The 30%, you're dumb. All right, Bron never played with a defense like Pip and Dennis. Do you think that would make a difference? Even though that 07 team was LeBron James was that team they had defensively where it was like what? I think it was in the league defensively when they won 66 games. That was one of them.
There wasn't.
There's not a player as good as Rodman and Pippen.
I didn't say that.
But yes, LeBron's played on good defenses. Yes, LeBron's played on great defenses.
Where's that team ranked all time defensively, Lo? That team that was. No, I'm talking about LeBron's team with the Cavs.
Not as high as 96.
All time.
No, I'm asking you. I'm saying that was one of the top teams all time defensively, right?
No.
The 2009 Cleveland Cavaliers. You think that?
Breaking up. You're breaking up.
Oh, I thought that was just me.
Yeah, me too. I got spooked.
They were a good defense. In the league, they were a good defense all time. Like those Bulls teams were all time defense.
Those Bulls were all time defense.
We lost. They were best defense in the league, if I'm not mistaken. 1 or 2.
In the league, yes, but not all. They weren't. As a matter of fact, in 09, they weren't even the best defense in the league that year.
I don't even think that Bulls team was one of the greatest, one of the top 3 all time. I think it was the Boston Celtics back then that was at the top defense.
No, that's fine. That's fine. But the 96 Bulls is one of the best defensive units of all time, like top 10, top 15. That Cavs team wasn't even the best defensive unit in 09.
They had 3 dudes make first team all defense.
Yeah.
3 of them.
Yeah, that was crazy. Karl Malone is a religious choker because he doesn't deliver on Sundays. I'll take my chances with LeBron in Game 7. All right, you can't really argue that. I guess they're going to Game 7 though, which they didn't go with Jordan and the Bulls. This is a LeBron hate show. Chill, do you agree with that?
It's always like that.
Oh man,
does Jordan win 2015 and 16 on those Cavs teams?
I'm so sick of this Jordan James logic. This is so goofy, man.
I don't like these swapping them.
I'm so sick of this, man.
Good, then we'll skip it. LeBron can't be the standard. You can't be 4-6, a losing record, and be the standard. Period.
No, Ticket. You saw how we just skipped that question, Ticket. That's a real good question. That 15-16. That's a really good question, Ticket.
You guys can do that on Ticket.
That's a really good question, Ticket.
That is a good question.
You guys should, that's a good question. That's a great topic for Ticket TV. I
actually do think Jordan probably could actually pull it off. Just FYI.
You know what the thing is with those hypotheticals?
Look at
when you change a player, you change an entire dynamic of a team, and it changes everything. And then it's
no, fair enough. But I do think Jordan might be able to pull it off.
I don't disagree. I asked Chill if Jokic could win the MVP if he averages a triple-double a couple of weeks ago, and he said no shot. What do you think now, Mr. Chill?
Well, the fact that a couple of weeks ago, don't forget that Denver wasn't as good as they are now. So the fact that they're better, I think that Joker has a really good shot at winning the league MVP.
He'll cut it out, man.
I think they're clearly
Ticket. You got to remember too. Giannis has been in and out. Even though I had Giannis before the season started, Giannis is also.
I'm saying Luka's been better than that. Even though he's on a better team, he got a better team. Luka has been better than this guy, man. Tatum, you can argue that Tatum.
I still think Jokic's been playing better than Luka.
Yo, fellas, I got to take my son to jiu-jitsu, y'all.
Yeah, no doubt.
All right,
no doubt.
Appreciate you.
Keep it a bean. If KD didn't get hurt,
KD
is a strong MVP.
KD is at the top of that list. I already said last year that Tatum would be in the conversation. I said that last year. So Tatum is right at the top of the list. I picked Giannis before the season started, but if the season ended today with what Joker doing with Denver being in first place and all the aesthetics and everything that Joker is doing in terms of numbers, it would be hard to keep it away from him. Very hard.
Man, it would be hard.
MJ wasn't getting drug allegations when he was dropping 50 for Washington.
Hey, MJ was running around here looking like the Rock dude right now.
No, he was not.
Say the same people who blame him for getting his dad killed for gambling, but they don't like this conspiracy. All right, brother. All right, brother.
LeBron James running around here looking like the Rock at damn near 40, but Michael Jordan, he looked like he was halfway out of shape anyways. But these dudes, this girl look good. Hold on, I gotta go on mute. Hey.
Everyone in the league is guilty to some extent. Look at Dwight Howard on the 76ers versus his Magic days. Howard was on roids. Everyone is guilty, not just one. And again, that's what I said. I didn't say guilty, but I did say every athlete, I believe, is pushing the limits. So thank you for actually listening, the one person, Double P. Boom, nobody. Oh, nobody watches for Fluent. Okay, and let's see how many people watch for you. The same amount of fucks I give. 0.
Wow.
Next.
Wow.
Christopher D. Poole efficiency in this era as a first option isn't even a lottery team. Tyler Hero better than him. Someone from his own draft.
Yeah, his efficiency isn't where it needs to be for me to feel confident he'll be a good number one option. It's just not.
All right, but guess what? As the number one option, he had a better record than the number one overall pick had while he was playing. Number one overall pick winning percentage is what, like 20? Jordan Poole. Huh? Jordan Poole winning percentage was what at what 40, 46?
Wait, what number one pick are we talking about?
Yeah, what number one pick?
Hold on. The dude down there in Orlando, what's their winning percentage?
You want him to win with Orlando?
Hold on, bro. Hold on. Because the Warriors have had injuries too. All I'm saying is Jordan Poole, without the chef, he's a game under 500. Steph Curry is 2 games over 500 this season.
Okay.
Cool.
With all that efficiency. Get my point? He's 16 and 14 this year, Steph Curry, with all that efficiency. With all that efficiency 2 years ago when he led the league in scoring, they didn't make the playoffs. So
what were they? Were they not above 500 though, right?
That fake efficiency talk don't work with me. He was barely over 500.
He was over 500. He was over 500.
Pretty comfortably.
All y'all do, hold on. All y'all do was kill
comfortably over 500.
Comfortably over 500. They went 2-7 without him. That's why
they killed Jordan Poole and talk about all his flaws, right? But they never highlight that when Curry was young, he had the same type of flaws. In fact, Curry still do the same dumb shit now. Turn the ball.
But ticket.
No one's killing Jordan Poole. You're just calling him super. You're just saying he's playing like a superstar. So we just disagree.
You hate Jordan Poole, boy.
I don't hate Jordan Poole. I just don't think he's playing like a superstar.
Okay. No, you hate Jordan Poole.
Whatever. Cool. Whatever.
I know you do. It's inside your soul, boy. It's inside your soul, boy. I know you do.
Oh wow.
Sorry about that one. Bruh, if Jerry West, it missed. Anyways, Jerry West is top 75. Kyrie is like, come on.
That's dumb.
Boy, y'all just break Jerry West.
That's dumb.
Unbelievable. Like, we ain't even going to address that.
Yeah, that's dumb.
No, because you clearly never watch basketball. Who's better prime? Draymond or prime Trey Lyles?
It's Draymond.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, I mean.
Look.
Please stop. I
mean, replace Draymond with Trey Lyles. I mean, I think they still get those championships. But
all right, there you go. Better playoff, Christopher D. Better playoff performer: James Worthy, Scottie Pippen, or Kevin McHale? Just playoffs.
McHale.
Worthy.
You said Worthy ticket?
Yeah, I think Worthy's better.
I got big game James as well. I got Worthy.
Yeah, I think Scottie Pippen fall apart too many times in the playoffs. And then, like I said, I like Kevin McHale. So if it was in order, Worthy, McHale, and then Pippen.
I see Pippen play 1 minute in Game 7 because he had a little headache. So Pippen can't be that guy for me.
For me, McHale's 1, 2, and 3 can flip. Well, I'll go Pippen, then Worthy.
Yeah, McHale had a stretch where he was averaging basically like 23 and 10 in the playoffs. And McHale was on timing. McHale was definitely on timing.
I like this one in the chat. Please.
I didn't watch it though.
Yeah, I'm just reading the box. I'm just reading the box scores.
Of the three, who has a Finals MVP?
James Worthy did not deserve that Finals MVP.
Oh, here we go. Okay,
he did.
But Worthy does have it. That doesn't mean
he does have it. He does have it. But
that does not mean he's a better playoff performer, though.
All right. Maybe if Paul George wasn't with the strippers who have gotten him past Philly, I'm not touching that.
And not the strippers in Los Angeles neither, Ticket. He talk about the actual strippers.
Do y'all see my Houston Rockets doing anything?
Fire Steven Silas. That's what you guys have to do.
Get Wemby. You get Wemby.
Still building that unit. Still trying to build that unit.
Why you want to fire?
They get Wemby or Scoot Henderson, that fan.
Marz, why you want to fire? Marz, why you want to fire undercover brother? So
yeah, I'm interested to hear that too, Marz. What's the problem with Silas? Why does he have to go?
Because I'm watching the offense they're running, and it's the worst offense I've ever seen. Not just because they don't have great personnel. It's the most stagnant offense in the NBA. It's literally a pick and roll, get Sengun in isolation, no movement around him at all. Jalen Green's having to take the most dumb pull-up shots imaginable because, once again, on the weak side, it's just no motion at all. Then you got Kevin Porter Jr. being used as a point guard when he definitely shouldn't be in that role, facilitating an offense. Defensively, I can't blame it entirely on him because the effort of guys like Jalen Green is very questionable. Mm-hmm. But even then, the only thing I think this team does at a decent level is rebound the basketball. And I'm looking at Steven Silas there to be doing something better than what he's doing. I don't think other coaches would make this team look so non-NBA caliber as he's making them look.
Now, in fairness, Marz, we are dealing with a bunch of kids, right? I mean, Jalen Green is in year 2. Jabari Smith, who is the second pick, he's their rook, right? Kevin Porter Jr. I'm not really sure what exactly his role is. And Stevens and Silas, he basically got that job because I don't think nobody else wanted it. I think that's why he got the job. To be honest, I'm just trying to be honest with you. I think that he got that job because I don't think anybody else wanted it. So, is it fair to maybe get? How long has he been there now? This is year 2 or year 3?
He came the year James Harden was asking out.
Okay, so this is year 3 that we in.
Harden did all that, man. James Harden, with his disrespect, he vetoed everything, man. He messed the dude's startup. I think give him one more year and see what happens. If they get a high draft pick, which they will, I think give him one more year, see what happens. If they start out getting rammed on next year, then get him out of there. I think that you give him one more year to see. Okay, now let's see if we can grow through the draft again. Because like I said, man, that situation he started out with, bro, when Harden quits on you after the third game, chill. He quit after the third game.
Forget him quitting after the third game, Ticket. I thought he had a fat suit on when I saw him in the preseason. I thought that there was no way that I was like, this dude is that big. He plays at I think like 220. Did you see him, Marz? He was at minimum. Let me ask you a question. Be honest with me, Marz. How much when you saw him? How much do you think he weighed there?
Like pushing 240, 250.
That's what I was thinking. I think he was like 240 at least, which tells me he wasn't doing anything. That's completely and totally unprofessional. That's terrible.
The situation with John Wall over there, John Wall don't play a whole year. That situation was bad, man.
It was.
I'm only asking Low this question. What's your top 3 peaks? Iman has Magic. Has Jordan, Shaq, Bird. Top 3 peaks.
It wouldn't be Bird. It would be it'd be LeBron.
So you got Jordan, Shaq, LeBron.
I might also change Shaq for Kareem.
Kareem?
Either Kareem or Wilt, one or two.
Wow.
Mainly because the defensive Shaq, Shaq is not in the same caliber of those two defensively.
Damn, Tom, 30 and 15 for 8 years. That's a
I'm
big
not arguing.
Deal,
Luka did the same as Trae with Carlisle, but is that
that's not the same thing? And the reason
go ahead.
Go ahead.
It's not the same just because A, they were already looking to move off of Carlisle anyway. B, the way that Carlisle was running that offense, they weren't favoring it, especially because it wasn't like really translating on the defensive side of the floor. But more importantly, I didn't really mind them moving off of Carlisle because they needed something new. This would be the second coach in Trae Young's tenure, and he just started his career. That would be like Trae Young would be on a legendary coach firing run. It'd be crazy. He's speed running through coaches.
I mean, they ended up firing dude after 1 year.
Yeah.
Wouldn't this be his third coach? Because who did they get when he first got there?
What's his name was the coach when he first got there? What's the other brother name? Lloyd Pierce.
Because they only had him for 1 year. That was it.
No, it was Lloyd Pierce.
Was it 2 years or 1 year? Okay.
Trae is a coach killer. All right, William Lucas the second. Would you guys ever do a show for fighting, boxing, MMA, collegiate wrestling? I would be interested. I believe there is a wrestling show coming. Boxing, MMA, I don't know, but hey, we'll ask William.
I am a boxing fan, man. So.
Drink more water. How tall are all the hoopers on the panel?
How tall are you, man? I'm not a hooper. I'm a box score watcher. Marz, stop, Marz. You're not a hooper.
I'm only 5 years old. I mean, I'm still growing.
He's still growing. I don't know how tall Ticket is.
What's Marz' height? Marz, how tall?
You what Ticket? How tall?
Yeah, you're right. You heard him right. Ticket is a big dude. Ticket like 6'8", 6'9". Ticket ain't no small dude. Yeah, Ticket is a big dude. Yes, Ticket is a big dude.
I'm just saying, hey, low in real life, I'm probably the same height and size as Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo actually lost weight. Last time I seen Carmelo, which was years ago, like it was and Melo, man, he's taller than LeBron. But whether y'all believe it or not,
yeah.
So I did not know Ticket. So Ticket's 6'9", I'm 6'3", and I tell you, Chill says he's 6'3", but he's a little bit taller than me, so he's probably 6'4".
And Bobby's like 6'8".
Yeah,
I believe Bobby is 6'8".
Yeah, Bobby's 6'8". Dell's tall too, right? He's 6'8".
Dell like 6'7", 6'8",
6'7".
Yeah,
like 6'7".
I just met Steven Jackson and Big Baby Davis, and they all are 6'9". Like they crazy.
Now y'all know who's big. Y'all know who's bigger than everybody, dog. And I seen him one time. I can't tell y'all where I saw him though. Kevin Durant. This fool. Yeah, we all know man, that. I'm looking at this cat like, man. Hey, they list him wrong, bro. He's 7 feet tall, though.
They got him listed at 6'10", but my man told me that he's bigger than that. My man told me he's bigger than 6'10".
I thought you were going to say Kevin Garnett because Kevin Garnett.
No, Kevin Durant.
No, but I've seen Kevin Garnett next to Shaq, and I was like, no, there's no way you're 6'11". There's just no way.
Yeah, some of them dudes are crazy. I remember shaking Shaq's hand. Chill probably knows this because he hung out with Shaq, and like his fingertips come halfway up your forearm when he shakes your hand, bro. There's some big dudes. Let's see. I saw that picture of you and Shaq. That you guys look cute with your hair. Both of you have hair.
I still got my hair.
It was a lot darker. Prime Anthony Davis, like mine. It's all going great. Prime Anthony Davis or Dwight Howard?
Dwight Howard.
Yes, Howard, no doubt. Howard.
Everybody Howard?
Dwight Howard led his team to NBA Finals.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't get out of that. Dwight Howard led his team to the NBA Finals. And he was the best player on.
No, Tom, it's not the same thing. It's not the same thing, Tom.
Dwight Howard was on that team that won as well. Dwight Howard was on that team.
Yeah, he was on that. You're right.
Right, he was on that team. On top of that, and at no point, I mean, can we, as good as Anthony Davis was, there was a stretch when Dwight Howard was the best big man in the game. Could we ever say that about Anthony Davis?
That's not saying much at that time.
Why is that not saying much?
His competition was nowhere near as tough as Embiid.
So if we doing that,
but I do think AD was the best big in the league before Giannis ascended up until like 2019.
Yeah, you could actually say that as well.
I think AD.
I think he was better than Giannis. I do think.
Yeah, I think AD from like 2014, 2015 to like 2019 was the best big in the NBA.
That also doesn't mean anything because that era big man was also weak.
Yeah, it was also trash because the
we'll get through these ones quick then.
Talent wise, AD,
okay, but Dwight Howard better.
Yeah,
career. Okay, Pete Maravich is better than Magic Johnson.
Troll alert.
Bye. Sigh. Low, you pulling up to open gym?
I guess I'm gonna have my own show up here, man. All these open gyms, and I gotta join Fluent in them, and I gotta go to.
No, you don't. You don't gotta come through.
Y'all are forcing me. I don't.
No, you're not.
You don't have to do nothing.
As a matter of fact,
invite rescinded. All right, Double P. Is this an example of a cherry pick stat? Number one defenses faced in the playoffs. Bron's 8, MJ 2.
Number one ranked defenses faced in the playoffs. LeBron had 8 of them. MJ had 2. It's not a cherry pick stat.
That's a cherry pick stat.
But I mean, it means something.
How many times was Jordan on the number one defense?
That's what I was about to say.
That kind of matters as well.
Context.
Yeah, that's like the one LeBron beat a 70-win team.
So it's not like Jordan is facing. It's not like Jordan is facing 2 number 1 defenses, and his team is not the number 2 defense in the league or the number 1 defense in the league. So.
Right. So there you go. So yeah, maybe it is cherry pick.
And also, if I'm not mistaken, LeBron faced some of the worst defensive units as well, and offensive units in the playoffs.
MJ, Kobe, LeBron, best I've ever seen. Agree or disagree?
I don't know who you've seen, brother. So I guess
best I've ever seen. I mean, Steph, LeBron, KD.
How have you seen those people, Marz? You're only 5 years old. Like, what do you know?
Yeah, no, I mean, the last 2 years I've seen Steph, LeBron, and KD. Last 2 years I've seen Steph.
He hasn't seen Kobe. He hasn't seen.
I didn't see him. I wasn't alive.
Never saw Kobe. He's right.
I was born after.
So why does he always talk about? Why does he always talk? Why does he always try to? No, I ain't gonna say nothing. Go ahead.
He's trolling right now.
I'm never trolling. I was born in 2017. I don't know what you want me to do. I was born in 2017.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Okay. Jordan Poole definitely has all-star potential. He's averaging 21 right now. At 32 yesterday, just needs to improve his defense and decision making.
Curry needs to improve his defense. Curry needs to improve his decision making, but y'all don't argue about that. Why? Because he got championship.
Curry did.
Iverson
Curry did.
Jordan Poole got a championship too. Remember that.
Who's everyone's most overrated top 10 player all time?
So players that are in the top 10 that are the most overrated.
Top 10. Who's the most overrated?
Shaq?
You said Shaq?
You don't like that? You don't like that one, Lo?
Oh, I thought
he wanted to go. He wanted to name 10 of the most overrated.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to name.
If you want to, go ahead, Lo.
No, this actually might be better. Who's the most
overrated top 10 player all time? I'll tell you mine. I'm not afraid. I'll tell you mine because he's not in my top 10 because I think he's overrated. Bill Russell.
Bill Russell.
I agree with you, and RP the late great Bill Russell. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Chill.
Chill
would have to be Kobe, right?
Yeah, it's Kobe.
Bryant.
Yeah.
Hold on, Chill. You said Kobe?
Magic Johnson.
Bryant.
Magic Johnson.
Yeah, hold on.
Whoa.
One more time for the people in the cheap. One more time for the people in the cheap seats. Ticket. I'll say it again to your ear because I'm probably gonna have to get on the chair and stand and get on the chair to talk to you in your ear. Bryant. I said it. Bryant.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this. Stop running from Elder then, because Elder been calling you out for that smoke, nigga. And you've been running.
I'm going.
By the way, overrated doesn't mean bad at basketball.
Right.
You've been running for that Elder smoke, chill sound. You've been running for a whole 2.5 months.
What do you mean running? I just talked to Elder like a week ago on my show.
You talked to him off the record. You talked to him off the. You need to go skim.
He was on the show.
Elder came on Fluent and Chill.
Like I'm on, no, not on Fluent and Chill. I'm talking about on my live. He came on my live, and we talked for like 20 minutes. What are you talking about?
I don't want that smoke.
Also, I would agree. I'm gonna agree with Chill and say that Kobe is the most overrated in the top 10.
Now, see, and here's the problem, though. When you hear the word overrated, people think not that good. No, he's not saying that. He's not saying that.
I say it all the time when I say that about John Stockton and Carmelo.
Are you okay? Listen.
We should say your boy that lost 6 NBA finals. But I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna leave you with this. Chill Town, I'm gonna leave you with this. I know the real reason why y'all don't want me around so much when I come over here to kill your show. Chill. And don't take no disrespect to this Fluent. I appreciate that girl y'all got on your show. You don't want me to come on the show, on the Chill and Fluent show, because you don't want me to cook your ass in front of that pretty little girl up there.
First of all, hold on, Tom. Go ahead, keep going. Keep going.
Who the real man of basketball talk is? Steve Wright.
Oh my God.
Don't worry about it, Tone. Hey, Ticket, let me tell you something right now, my man. You can't hold a candle to me. I will eat your lunch in front of Haley or in front of anybody else. Bring it.
Top 5
boxers. It don't make a difference.
Please,
I will eat you.
Please
Lennox Lewis, Floyd Mayweather, Roberto Duran, Larry Holmes, Sleepy.
Hey, you tell them all you rocking with Ticket. Tell them you rocking with Ticket TV and the new Nation of Domination. Believe that.
What was that last one? Top 5 boxes? What he say?
William Edward Lucas says that he is black, by the way.
What's up, brother?
Nice.
Power to the people.
Most overrated player ever. I say Westbrook.
Bill Walton.
Agreed.
I've said, man.
Motivation theory. As a Rockets fan, who's yours?
Yeah. He said Allen Iverson is the most overrated player of all time.
Wow, you're a hater. You should like those guys.
I think it's.
He nasty.
Can I say that? Can I say mine? Can I say mine?
Yeah.
It's John Stockton. That's who it is. It's John Stockton.
He's my number 2, so I don't know. He's my number 2.
Hey, Lo. But you see what Chill and Fluent just did. They want to keep me from running that eye candy over there. They got over there on that.
I already said it, bro.
I said it. He about to say something.
Y'all two ain't playing fair. Y'all ain't playing fair. Y'all two ain't playing fair.
Ticket, I'm trying to tell you something, brother. You can't hold a candle,
brother.
I promise you.
Ticket. I'll send you the link.
I'll send you the link. You can't hold a candle to me.
I'll do like the Immortal Hulk Hogan. I'll do like the Immortal Hulk Hogan and pull out the 30-inch pythons. Don't play with me, dog.
In the words of my man Biggie, Smalls,
the guy who's scared to come on camera. All right, we'll send you the link. As a Rockets fan, I'm still hurting that we missed all those threes in Game 7 in Houston. Do y'all think Harden wasn't mentally prepared for the playoffs?
Why would I blame Harden for that?
I'm gonna say how many threes are Harden?
Trevor Ariza was like 0 for 11 that game. Gerald Green couldn't make any.
Like, they went 0 for 27 in that game. Now you want to blame James Harden in Game 4 when he went 0 for 11? All right, that's something different.
All right,
they call Google Stevie J.
They call Russ a top 5 point guard off stats, so it may be. Does anyone call Russ?
I ain't heard anyone.
I've never heard anybody say Russ is top 5 points.
I hear people questioning if he's top 10. So
I agree. I don't think he's top 10 either. Jordan and Kobe are virtually the same player, but in one-on-one, who do y'all have?
Jordan.
Jay.
Kobe.
Anybody have Kobe? Oh, okay.
Yeah, Kobe. Mike said Kobe could beat him. Mike said Kobe the only guy.
Yeah, Mike actually did say the only person he thinks he could beat him is Kobe because he stole all those moves. Kobe won and beat more 50-win teams in the playoffs than MJ and Bron. Significant? I'm adding that word. Yes or no?
I do think when you look at the context of like the competition Kobe faced, is some of the steep like playoff defenses he was going against and this caliber of teams is vastly impressive. The teams he had to beat to win championships.
So I don't know that we ever came to a consensus. Does the regular season record matter? Like when we say competition, this person faced tougher competition or that person. Do we look at their record or do we just look at the names?
No, record matters. It matters.
Record matters. I'm just not a huge fan of like the arbitrary like 50-win team is a barometer of this team's this certain level. Like if a team has 51 wins and if a team has 58 wins, another team has 60 wins, like that's not a huge gap to me. when I'm
50 to 60 wins isn't
58 wins.
58 to 60.
Like, just because 60 win teams, that's a major barometer.
Like, but even if you rank it though, even if you rank their defenses, like who played the best, like top 5, top 3, top 7, top 10 offenses and defenses, Kobe is still by actually a pretty wide margin, especially to LeBron.
So why you don't say Bill Russell? Man, Bill Russell had a jump shot like Rondo Ball.
So double P, I did say it and I stand by it. Top 5 eye test all time.
Kobe.
Yeah, go ahead.
Kobe, MJ,
Kobe, MJ, Hakeem.
Hakeem, yes, actually. Hakeem, yes.
Magic.
Yeah,
I didn't see that.
Nice.
I didn't see
Hakeem's
that.
box scores did look nice.
Hey, Fluent, chill time when they go call Haley. Tell Haley I said I ain't got no beef.
No, it's because we're running over time.
I don't have no beef with you. I had the utmost respect for you. I had the utmost respect. I'm just joking around.
I actually say Kevin Durant as well. I like strictly eye test from what I see from KD. No, he's crazy.
Last one. Is it time for Miami to blow it up? Yes. Last question. Is it time for Miami to blow it? I'm just going to ask everybody. Just give me yes or no. Ticket. Is it time for them to blow it up?
No. Why? They just it was a game for the NBA. If it was a shot for the NBA Finals, why blow it up?
Low. Is it time to blow it up?
Yes.
Marz.
Partially.
Last one. Chill. Is it time for Miami to blow it up?
No.
I say yes, blow the damn thing up. How much do y'all hold Kareem winning an MVP and missing the playoffs against him? He was under 500 at 40 and 42, but a 38-win Bucks team and a 36-win Piston team made it.
He didn't make it because of like divisional.
Stop! No, he should have let that team go winning.
No, but I contextualize these things. I contextualize.
They were Oklahoma City they were Houston when he got on that crew. They were Houston.
To answer his question,
no.
To answer his question, no, not really, unless we're comparing them to LeBron and MJ. At that point, I'm gonna hold it against them. But for everybody else in NBA history, not really. No,
I don't. No, I don't.
But if I'm comparing them to MJ, oh no, that matters. That matters. You can't lead them to a winning record.
I hold it against him when people start talking about the fact he has 6 MVPs. But then I'll bring it up.
You can't lead that team to a winning record. Is crazy.
All right, well, get those likes up, subscribe. That's it for the panel. I'm the greatest host in the history of Players' Choice.
You got through all the things.
Everything, brother. Everything. Yeah. Low, Ticket, Marz, Chill. Salute to all of y'all. We'll see you next week.
Hey, yo, Ron or JD, man, I'm gonna have to get my own show, man. I had to really start preaching to these people, man.
I'm ending the